We are live and welcome. Double tap, hit the like button. Welcome to the livest, most base, most go max political podcast on YouTube. What is it, man? Taco Tuesday. Terrific Trump taco. It's a terrific Trump taco Tuesday for everybody wondering, for everybody tuning in, for everybody wondering. Come on in and talk to the black guy with the tight eyes. The black guy with the tight eyes. Come on in. Look at the thumbnail. Read the description. I do so much hard work for you guys, man. I got the fire thumbnail, the fire description, fire tag, SEO, search engine optimize up the wazoo. That's what we do. SEO, search engine. If you need help with your channel, if you need help with your thumbnail, if you need help with your description, if you need help with your SEO, get it go. Tap into my DM me on Instagram, Perfect Time Podcast. DM me on Instagram, Perfect Time Podcast. I'll help you out, man. You can also find me on Twitter, Perfect Timing Podcast, on all social media platforms, Perfect Timing Podcast. That's right, baby, and we made it, man. I said tune in tomorrow between 11, what did I tell them? Tune in tomorrow between 11 and 12 a.m. And we right on the dot. We smack dab on the dot without a doubt, without a spot, without a blemish. We on the dot, round the clock. Double tap, hit the like button as you come in, man. Thank you, everybody, for watching, man, tuning in yesterday. What a fire podcast, man. We do it every day, man, 11 a.m., between 11 and 12 a.m., top of the mid-morning podcast with the OG. I'm the OG. My name is Perfect. It's the Perfect Timing Podcast. It's quarter zip season. I had another one on yesterday. I think yesterday we did blue. Y'all know I like blues. That's the midnight blue we did yesterday. Today we got the burgundy. I bought them all. Let's go, baby. To the YNs and the quarter zip. I bought them all. I got all the quarter zips. I got every color that they had. They had 3 different ones. I bought all 3 colors, man. It was blue, it was burgundy, and I got a gray one for tomorrow. It's a Bass Company. See it, and then they got a little tech pocket right here. You put your phone right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the real quarter zip with another zip right here. You feel me? A quarter zip with an extra zip. It's a quarter zip with an extra zip, right? The extra zip for the pimp, man. Quarter zip with an extra zip, man. That's what it is, man. Good morning, man. Double tap. Come on in, man. Like, share, subscribe. What's up to all my new subscribers, man? Can I say thank you? I want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. All of my new members who hit the plus sign. You know, I'll be shouting out the memberships, man. The memberships come with special emojis, special privileges, special member-only live streams. You get lit up in the chat. The chat go crazy, man. Yesterday, thousands of chats, millions of views, man. Thousands of chats, millions of views. So when the chat get popping and the political discussion get going, I see a lot of people be like, man, he not reading my message. He don't see my message. The problem is I'm running the show. I got a script. I got format. I get into a groove. I can't read every message, right? But what I would like you to do is become a member. What you do is you become a member or you use the super chat. That will highlight you to the podcast host who's doing about 10,000 things at one time, besides trying to read your super chat. You know what I'm saying? But I know how my millennials and my zillennials, you know, they little mammy babies, they mama been wiping their asses till they was 11 years old. So if you don't read they comment, they get kind of a little sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Because they never learn how to wipe their ass. Especially the leftists, especially the Democrats, man. Oh, they so sick. First in the chat, get shouted out without a doubt. As soon as I put my spectacles on, I'll be able to read your name. I can't see what that says right now. I don't know who just chatted and what you said, man. You could have got away with murder. Hold on, let me put them on. Woo! It's like a whole new world. It's a whole new world. Let me get some tea, man. Let me clear my throat. Let me get some tea, man. Oh, that's good. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it's a clown. We're going to report him for being racist. It's a clown. Get him out of here. We're going to report him for being racist. And I got it on I got it on subscribers. Maybe I don't got it on subscribers only. Let's put it on subscribers only early. But thank you for identifying yourself as a hater. Thank you for identifying yourself as a hater. And let's get it on subscriber only, man. Who can chat? Only subscribers, man. Subscribers only, man. That's all we doing. Subscribers only, man. That's how we get that done, just like that. Much respect and love to the subscribers, man. Who is that, man? Who is that, man? Did you try to sneak one in? I don't think you a subscriber, man. Let's put them on timeout. Let's put them on timeout. We're going to see if you subscribers, man. Put you on timeout, see if you're a subscriber or if you're going to be down for the cause and down by law. Double tap hit the like button, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. Clap it up, man. One of these days, YouTube going to get it fixed where I can use my Rodecaster, Podcaster, and I can hit the like and I can hit all the claps and emojis and get the sounds, but we don't got the sounds right now but we very thankful to YouTube for this vertical platform. We very thankful to everyone who subscribed. We very thankful to everyone who watched, everyone who watching right now. You don't have to subscribe to hit the like button. I don't think a lot of hosts introduce the show the right way. Number one, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, you're going to get a plus sign. Hit that plus sign. You can join the channel. We have a special going on right now. Join the channel to support the channel and support the cause. It's less than 10 cents a day. But also, you don't have to subscribe, like, or share, join to hit the like button. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have to do any of those things to like the podcast. All you have to do is double tap your cell phone screen. If you're watching me on the computer, you know how to hit the thumbs up. So either hit the thumbs up, everybody right now, hit the thumbs up or double tap your cell phone screen. And you don't have to subscribe to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let that be out. You don't have to subscribe to double tap, hit the like button, but and even share or even hit a super chat, whatever you want to do. Fire podcast today. You see the thumbnail. What we talking about? We talking about $12 billion lead story off the top. $12 billion to farmers. How? $12 billion. Not 1, 2, 3, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. $12 billion. Say it with me. Billion. $12 billion to farmers. And how did the farmers get the $12 billion? The tariff. Can we say Trump tariff? Can we say tariff? Can it be a tariff Tuesday? Can it be a terrific tariff? Can it be a terrific Trumperific Trump Tuesday? Woo! Double tap, man. Double, get your Trump hands going. It's a terrific Trump Tuesday, man. And we started off with the tariff. The tariffs is a tax. I don't know how to read. I don't know how to add. It's a tax. It's a tax, right? It's a tax. It's a tax that paid for WIC. It's the same thing that paid the soldiers. And now $12 billion, I said billion dollars going to farmers from China. China pays farmers $12 billion in tariff revenue. And that's our lead story. That's our lead story. Before we get into all the fantastic, MAGA, magnificent, wonderful base gold max content, we got to talk about Jasmine Crockett. Ooh, Jasmine Crockett lost her seat. Did you know Jasmine Crockett lost her seat with all that meat? With all that meat, Jasmine Crockett still lost her seat. But we're going to go and expose Jasmine Crockett. I said, who is Jasmine Crockett? I said, instead of doing an expose on Diddy, he needs to do an expose on Jasmine Crockett. And I got the title. Who is Jasmine Crockett? Who is Jasmine Crockett? Who is Jasmine Crockett? Come on, man. I just want to know, but we're going to break it down today. We're going to expose the hypocrisy. We're going to expose what they calling it code switching. Some people have a different C name for what Jasmine Crockett been doing, man. But you know what I'm saying. It's a farcical mask. We're going to take off the mask on, mask off Jasmine Crockett today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go deeper and expose because she want to run for Senate. She's trying to get promoted from fry cook. These people don't even know how to put the fries in the bag. Double tap has how to put the fries in the bag first. Jasmine, fix the South District of Dallas that you represent. See, before you try to go to Senate, you should have been productive. But see, they see Barack Obama. I saw polling that Jasmine Crockett, just like Pete Buttigieg, Pete Buttigieg, shout out to Milo, what is Milo? Milonopolis, whatever Milo last name is, shout out to Milo, calling out Pete Buttigieg, calling out the DNC, calling out the American left for elevating someone simply because of their sex and not being honest how that is sexist, right? Just like people come here and see my skin color and assume party loyalty. Shout out to Milonopolis for calling out Pete Buttigieg for being discussed in the presidential campaign for 2028 simply because he's a gay man. Called him out for adopting a child. I thank you and love you, Milonopolis. You got Jasmine Crockett, who is an unsuccessful congresswoman, just piss poor at her job, per her district, per her constituents, which is why she can't run again. Which is why did you know Jasmine Crockett can't run again? She lost her seat. When she got on that jet plane, look at my thumbnail, beautiful black woman on a jet plane because she's a millionaire princess, and you guys didn't know it, from St. Louis, multi-million-dollar education. I'm going to expose her. I'm going to expose the Jasmine Crockett today. The rich girl struggle is exposed. But then we're going to go into Trump political interview. Don't you love Trump? Don't you love MAGA? Trump, whenever you think is not going to be better than good, it's going to be great, because Trump goes on and go. The one thing we were waiting for, people like me, podcast comedians, the fodder we needed was Trump interviews. I need Trump to do 60 Minutes. I need Trump to do CNN. I need Trump to do political. And Trump heard my cry. Shout out to you, Trump. Shout out to you, MAGA. Trump did political, and we got a lot of clips. We got podcast gold from the Trump political interview. We're gonna go over the Trump political interview, and then lastly, Trump calls out Pam Bondi, skittish, scarish, brown nosed, ineffective, bleach blonde ass for not prosecuting shifty Schiff and cunning Comey. And loser Letitia. I said it. I said shifty Schiff, cunning Comey, and the loser Letitia. Trump calls out his AG Pam Bondi. I hear rumors floating that Pam Bondi got a couple days. Pam Bondi is a showtimer. Pam Bondi, you better pay attention to what happened to MTG. Relax and take notes. Pam Bondi, you better pay attention to what happened to MTG. That's all I got to say. You better pay attention to what happened to MTG. Pay attention, man, to what happened. Because Pam Bondi, I hear rumors. Pam Bondi, I hear rumors. Get on your job. Get on your job, Pam. But we're going to discuss it today. We're going to expose Pam Bondi. Get on your job, Pam Bondi. Donald Trump just told you for the very last time. I believe Pam Bondi, this is your last warning. You feel what I'm saying? He just fired somebody else. You know what I'm saying? He had a TV show where all he liked to say is "you're fired." That was the catchphrase. Hashtag "you're fired" in the chat. You know what I'm saying, Pam Bondi? Get on your job, man. We want these prosecutions, man. We want these prosecutions, man. I'm going to read to you Donald Trump a scathing review of Pam Bondi's job so far. I know how you feel about Pam Bondi, because you still disgusted with Pam Bondi going back to those binders. Remember those binders she gave all those influencers? She didn't give me a binder. Did you get a binder? I didn't get a binder. Pam Bondi giving out binders, talking about all this transparency. But what do we have today? Her and Cash Patel. I'm going to get her and Cash Patel talking about the pipe bombs and all that shit. We're going to get into it. Double tap at the like button, man, and share with somebody like-minded, man. Double tap at the like button, man, and share with somebody like-minded, man. Double tap. Hit the like button. Share with somebody like-minded, man. You know what we talking about today. We getting it going, man. We getting it going, man. We getting it going, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. We started off with the farmers, man. We started off with the farmers. Shout out to everybody. Double tap, hit the like button. The Most Based Podcast is on the roll. If you're a Democrat right now, close the app and go hug your therapist, because this episode is about to hurt. I said, if you're a Democrat right now, go hug your mama, go wipe your ass, because this therapist right here is about to hurt, baby. China just paid American farmers $12 billion. Count it down, and it take you 2 years to count it. $12 billion. Jasmine Crockett got caught flying on a private jet plane on your tax dollar. Trump called Paris and London the third world shitholes, and Pam Bondi rolled up with enough cartel coke to kill 3 states. Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast, the most dangerous show on the internet, baby. Double tap at the like button, man. Double tap at the like button, man. Straight fire, zero apologies. We going full scorched earth. If you came here for safe spaces and pronouns, wrong channel, snowflake. We gonna kick some ass today, man. Farmer bailout. Trump locked China. Trump looked China dead in the eye. That's what Trump did. Trump looked China dead in the eye. Let's talk about it, man. Trump looked China dead in the eye and said, your tariff money is now American farmer money. $12 billion. That's not a stimulus. That's reparations from Beijing. Come on, Trump. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. Trump looked China dead in the eye and said, your tariff money is now American farmer money. $12 billion. That's not a stimulus. That's reparations. Cha-ching, cha-ching from Beijing. While Democrats are crying corporate welfare, farmers are buying new trucks. Ford F-150 for you. You get a Ford F-150. You get a Ford F-150. You get a Ford F-150. While Democrats are crying corporate welfare, farmers are buying brand new Ford American-built trucks and naming their cows Tariff Queen. Heifer. Thank you, China. Thank you, China. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it, man. 12 billion. I said $1 billion, man. We got to talk about it. We got to talk about it, man. I got to tell everybody. Trump announces $12 billion in aid for farmers from tariff funds. The package provides $11 billion for producers of crops like corn, soybeans, wheat, and others, just to name a few in case you got some family members and people want to know details about how it breaks down. The $11 billion is for producers of crops like corn, soybeans, because people had a lot of shit to talk about the soybeans, but now you got a subsidy coming back to the soybean farmers. Please take note, because the Democrats think I don't listen, think we don't pay attention to the trolls. Y'all remember the shit they was talking about, the soybean. Trump ruined the soybean market. 11 billion, 11 billion. Hashtag in the chat. 11 billion, 11 billion. They don't never want to talk about the answers. They don't never want to talk about the productivity of this president, how much he's been getting done. I remember when you was bitching and complaining about the soybeans, but what will you admit today? Will you come on today? Will you come on the Trump farm? The Trump farm is giving away billion. I said billions, 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 millions, billions, billions, millions, billions, billions. Huh? To corn farmers, soybean farmers, and wheat farmers, and others funded by tariff revenue as a bridge amid low prices and trade issues. Payments will arrive early next year based on 2025 acreage reports, with farmers needing to submit by December 19th. Supporters praised the move as putting agriculture first. Where you at? You had a MAGA channel. You had a MAGA channel. You had a MAGA channel. You had a MAGA channel right now. It says supporters praise the move as putting agriculture first. Make America great again. America first, right? America first. Make America great again. That's what we doing today. And how do you make America great again? Well, you make agriculture great again, because agriculture directly affects your kitchen table, what you eat, what you put in your body, your health, your quality of life. You understand what I'm saying? Wages, you know what I'm saying? Because farmers is the heartbeat of America. Y'all remember the Chevy commercial? The heartbeat of America, farmland, homeland. You know what I'm saying? MAGA bragging about welfare for farmers. That's what I'm doing, baby. I'm bragging about welfare for farmers. At the same time, I can boot your bitch ass out my chat. Hello, happy hello, everybody. Happy hello. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. It's not welfare. It's damn right reparations. You understand what I'm saying? It's money owed that was taken away from the farmers. You know what pisses me off? You know what really gets my goat is that Democrats will sacrifice soldiers. Democrats will sacrifice farmers. Democrats, even in the last administration, sacrificed women's safety by allowing men in women's bathrooms and allowing men and women and female children safe spaces. Did you hear what I just told you? I said, do you hear the bullshit that the Democrats will say? The Democrats will sacrifice your fucking freedom. The Democrats sacrifice your fucking food stamps. The Democrats sacrifice your safety when they prodded Putin in the Ukraine conflict, when Kamala Harris went to Munich and talked all that shit about NATO proliferation, despite Putin saying we only had one line drawn. See, you see how the Democrats don't give a fuck about shit, about their power and being right and bullying people. So please tell me, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I just played a video for you yesterday from a beautiful Democrat woman that said the Democrats got it wrong. She said, I don't want to see a dick in the female bathroom. That's what she said. I don't want to see. And the Democrats didn't listen to American women when they said they don't want no dicks in the bathroom or on the sports team. You understand what I'm saying? But you will sacrifice female safety for your liberal sensibilities, right? You'll sacrifice your daughter and your wife's safety, right? You sacrifice food stamps for single mothers, right? You sacrifice payments to Army overseas. See, we never talked about the Army overseas. Army here didn't get it as bad as the Army overseas who went hungry during the shutdown. What about essential employees that the Democrats sacrificed? The air traffic controllers who had to work 43 days without pay. The TSA agents who had to work 43 days without pay. I don't want to hear that shit in my chat. I wish I could go back and block his bitch ass more than once. I wish I could block they bitch ass more than once for hating Americans. So today you want to hate the farmers because Trump gave them $12 billion. Now you don't like farmers? I thought you were vegan. I thought all you little mammy babies ate a bunch of vegetables and you didn't eat red meat. But now you hate the farmers. Every day I can call your bullshit out. Every day we gonna call your bullshit out. Every day. Now you hate farmers. Now you hate food. Next you're going to hate air. Huh? Now you hate food. Now you don't want farmers. Now it's welfare to farmers. Now it's fucking welfare to farmers. How low will the Democrats go with this bullshit? I can't wait till we get to Jasmine Crockett and call out their hypocrisy. How low will the Democrats go? That's a great question. Does only the rich deserve to live? That's the Democratic elite. Jasmine Crockett, multi-millionaire, $1,000 fake hair, $1,000 mink eyelashes, Nancy Pelosi, $400 million. Did you know that the congresswoman from Minneapolis, Minnesota, with the Somalian Africans stole $1 billion from American autistic children? How much money is she worth? No one talks about how much money the squad is worth. I'm the one who exposed Nancy Pelosi, $400 million, but when she came into office, she was only worth $3 million. Maxine Waters worth $20 million from a motherfucking project, paying her daughter millions of dollars. Letitia James worth millions of dollars with multiple homes, lied on mortgage application, said she was married to her father and illegally subletted the fucking house to her niece, who's a criminal who sells drugs, and she took drug money as rent. I'm just getting started. We didn't get the shifty shift. We didn't get the cunning Comey. I'm just getting started exposing the hypocrisy, and I would think everybody in America, I said the heartbeat of America, I would think everybody in America, I said the heartbeat of America would have some love for farmers. Would have some love for farmers. I would think everybody in America would have some love for farmers. I would think everybody in America would have some love for farmers, huh? I would think everybody in America would have some love for farmers, but still you find your way to hate. But I don't care, because I love America. It's America first. And you know, when Trump keeps his campaign promises, by putting agriculture first, by putting agriculture first. The Trump package provides $11 billion for producers of crops like corn, soybeans, wheat, and others, funded by tariff revenues as a bridge amid low prices and trade issues. Payments will arrive early next year based on 2025 acreage reports, with farmers needing to submit by December 19th. Supporters praise the move as putting agriculture first. Our critics called it a bailout for tariff-related problems, echoing 2018 aid during trade tensions with China. This is what's going on. POTUS announces $12 billion economic aid to our farmers. Maximizing domestic farm production is a big part of how we will bring down grocery prices for American families. So the tariffs are doing it again. We never had an administration with the apparatus like the tariffs. We could have used it all along. This is what Nancy Pelosi gave a speech about, using the tariffs in the trade war and the trade deficit in 1996. But then she got bought out by her Democratic crony elite donors, and then Nancy Pelosi plays stupid about the trade war, the tariff deficit. But I'm not stupid. MAGA's not stupid. We understand, how did you get a Black Friday? Number one, record-breaking Black Friday, $11.8 billion, even with the tariffs instituted on China. The average tariffs across the globe, 16%. But we had the record-breaking $11.8 billion Black Friday. But how do you get a Black Friday at Walmart? How do you get a $5 toaster? No one understands. See, the Democrats want you to beg and plead to have a $5 toaster. I said, fuck a $5 toaster. I said, my grandmother had an iron from Sears that lasted over 100 years. I said, my grandmother had an iron from Sears that lasted over 100 years. And it costed $80, but it came with a lifetime warranty. But some people want a $5 iron that you got to buy every 6 months from Walmart. Well, do you understand how the $5 iron exists? See, we have damn near slave labor and damn near slave wages in China. That's what's happening to the Chinese people. Damn near slave labor and damn near slave wages to produce low quality products for the American public who doesn't have money. Now the Chinese have more money than you. They have better products than you. They have better cars than you. They have better television, so they're better quality of life. You know who gets the cheap TV now? Before China had the cheap TV. Before our grandfather would never buy a TV from China. Our grandfather would never buy a car. Do you remember the movie Gung Ho? How difficult it was to get Americans to buy a Hyundai. How difficult it was to get Americans to buy. You know, your grandfather would not even let you eat Thanksgiving dinner. We just had Thanksgiving. You know, if you came in the 60s and the 70s, we had an auto embargo. We had protests. They were taking the jobs from Detroit. If you showed up to Thanksgiving dinner in a Japanese import, your grandfather would not let you eat. This is a fact about America that people forget. People forget how difficult it was. But see, now you get low quality goods at Walmart. You get a $5 toaster, but Sears is closed. JCPenney is gone. Toys R Us is gone. All the American Montgomery Wards, Emporium Capwell, places where my grandmother shopped are out of business. There is no Montgomery Ward. There is no more Emporium Capwell. There is no more Sears where you could buy a Maytag washing machine that my grandmother gave to my mother. The washing machine lasted so long with the Maytag lifetime warranty that when my mother married my father, she got my grandmother's washing machine. That was American made, American first. This is what we lost when we shipped all manufacturing overseas and we became the police of the world, right? This is what we lost. Now appliances last 2 years. 2 years is being polite. Because if you buy something on Black Friday, you will buy it again next year. If you buy a $5 toaster, you will buy it again next year. If you buy a $5 blender, you will buy it again next year. And that's how we got plastic in the ocean. You want to know, why is there so much garbage? In the 70s, our grandparents didn't have all this plastic and garbage and all this waste in the society. Well, it's because China makes garbage. China is shipping garbage to America, and you can only use it temporarily, and then you have to throw it away because it's broken. It's cheaper to buy a new toaster. It's only $5. So we became a dispensable society. Microwave culture. It's cheaper to buy a new toaster. It's only $5. right? So I throw away my old toaster and I'm creating all this plastic waste. But I have a great life, according to the Democrats. According to the Democrats, Trump is an asshole because Trump is taking away the cheap products. Because with tariffs, you can no longer buy a $5 toaster. And I'm not mad at that. I would much rather my children experience an oyster product. Who remembers the oyster products? You remember the blender with the metal base that was 100 pounds, the 100-pound iron. Remember your grandmother hitting your pops over the head with an iron that was 100 pounds. That iron with the cord, extension cord, you could hang out the window, climb up a mountain. It was a mountain cord attached to the back of that iron. It lasted for a lifetime. When the last time you bought something with a lifetime warranty? When things were made in America, it came with a warranty. A lot of things came with something called a lifetime warranty. Some James said you could still buy them. You need to ship them big ass ears overseas. Wow. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Come on in and troll all you want to troll. What's up with you? What's up with you? All the trolls, come on in. We're going to have a good talk this morning, man. Come on in and chop it up with me, man. Come on in, man. If you came here for the safe spaces and pronouns, you at the wrong channel, Snowflake. Trump just looked China dead in the eye and said, your tariff money is now American farmer money, $12 billion. That's not a stimulus. That's not welfare. That's straight up reparations to ching, ching, ching from Beijing. While Democrats are crying, boo-hoo-hoo. Trump news, Trump news, Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues, while Democrats is crying corporate welfare, and they crying it right down in the chat, man. Farmers are buying new trucks, naming their cows tariff queens, thanks to China, baby. Thanks to China, baby. Shout out to China, man. Shout out to China, man. Shout out to Trump and them terrorists, man. Shout out to China. Shout out to Trump and them terrorists, man. We gonna get this done right now, man. Let's get it in, man. Shout out to China. Shout out to Trump and them terrorists, man. Let's go to a video. Trump talking about holy bombshell. Trump just said the right to repair is coming to our farmers. So you hear that? Trump just said the right to repair is coming to our farmers. John Deere has been bending over our farmers and giving them the raw end of the deal for decades. This is phenomenally huge. You know how Trump likes to say huge. Double tap, hit the like button. As you come in, like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. You are watching Purpose of a Podcast with the Blast, man. Double tap, hit the like button. Donald Trump. $12 billion in tariffs to the farmers, baby. $12 billion in tariffs to the farmers. Let's get it turned all the way up, man.
Because of the tariffs, this is possible. The other thing I'd like to add before going to Scott, and I think it's very important, we're going to also give the tractor companies, John Deere and all of the companies that make the equipment, we're going to take off a lot of the environmental restrictions that they have on machinery. It's ridiculous. I know because I buy a lot of that machinery for different things. We have a lot of big clubs with, hundreds, thousands of acres. And I buy a lot of stuff, and you buy it, it's got so much equipment on it for the environmental, it doesn't do anything, except it makes the equipment much more expensive and much more complicated to work. And it's not as good as the old days. And we're going to take a lot of that nonsense off of the equipment, which is going to reduce, and we're going to do it. And we're going to say you're going to reduce the prices. We're not going to do it and they're not going to reduce. They're going to have to reduce their prices because farming equipment has gotten too expensive. And a lot of the reason is because they put these environmental excesses on the equipment, which don't do a damn thing except make it complicated, make it impractical. And you really have to be, in many cases, you need about 185 IQ to turn on a lawnmower now. So we're going to take that off, that crap off that they put on Biden mostly, and we're going to take that off. So that's going to make that'll bring down the equipment prices.
Thank you, Trump. Good job, Trump. Good job. That's just the start. So it's not just the farm $11 billion, but it's a whole package. It's going to include taking down prices. And what else do we have here?
Inviting me here.
Let's keep going. More clips. Donald Trump Farmers getting $12 billion. Trump in the White House announcing $11 billion going to soybean farmers, $12 billion aid package, including lowering cost of farm machinery that we know costs millions of dollars to keep the farms going. Double tap at the like button, share the stream with a like-minded MAGA individual. Today is a terrific Trump Tuesday. Do you know how we're paying for the $12 billion? Do you know how we're paying? We're paying for it with Chinese tariffs. Let's go, China.
Go ahead, please. Tell us about rice.
Rice. Well, thank you, first of all, for inviting me here. And my friend, the secretary, you have an incredible lady right here. She really is. Along with being a mother of 3 and a wife, I run my family's agribusiness, Kennedy Rice Mill, in a little town called Merage, Louisiana, about 1,000 people in the northern part of the state. We employ around 150 people taking rice from the field to a finished product, supplying some of the largest food companies that many of you would know here domestically, but also abroad. And my sisters and I, because there is 4 of us, right? I'm the youngest of 4 daughters, started our own rice brand a few years ago to just tell the story of American agriculture that hadn't really been told before. But I wish I was here under better terms. I'll tell you, I think the rice industry thanks you sincerely for what you have done for the California rice market into Japan. It has been monumental for our industry, but us in the South are really struggling. I mean, this is not just a crisis. I would say it's almost a market dynamics that really are true anti-competitive nature, right? So it follows what you sent out this weekend, and we do believe that countries are dumping rice into this country today. We've never seen imports this great.
Which countries?
India, Thailand, even China into Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico used to be one of the largest markets for U.S. rice. We haven't shipped rice into Puerto Rico in years. So this has been happening for years. This didn't start during your administration, but unfortunately, we're seeing it in a much bigger way now. The tariffs are working, but we need to double down because
the tariffs are working. The tariffs are working. See, this is the thing that people don't understand about the tariffs. She said these nations have been dumping rice into America. But remember what I told you about Harley Davidson? It would not be profitable for them to sell rice in America if there were a tariff, right? And before we used to sell rice to them. Now they're selling rice to us because before Trump, there was 0 to no tariffs for most of these countries. So there was little to no barrier of entry, and they were dumping rice and killing farmers like this young lady and prohibiting her from making a profit off of her crops. Let's keep it going.
You want more? I mean,
well, they're cheating, right? They're they're just subsidizing and then
India. Tell me about India. Why is India allowed to do that? They have to pay tariffs. Do they have an exemption on rice?
No, sir. We're still working on their trade deal. So
yeah, but they should be dumping. I mean, I heard that from others. You can't do that.
There's a WTO case against India.
Give me the countries if you could. Go ahead. India. Who else?
So India.
Mark it down. Which is good.
yes, sir.
India, Thailand, China into Puerto Rico, not into continental U.S., but into Puerto Rico. Those are the main culprits.
So Puerto Rico used to do a lot of business, and now you're
100%. Puerto Rico was U.S. based.
All right.
And
so easy to set up. Okay.
But there's others too, and I can get you a full list.
Get me a full list. Yeah.
Of course I can.
All right.
So
go ahead.
So truly.
So Puerto Rico used to be a U.S. market for rice. Puerto Rico is a U.S. is damn near U.S. state, and Puerto Rico used to 100% buy their rice from America. Now Puerto Rico now buys its rice from non-American farmers, and American farmers lose wages. Do you understand the trade war? I'm not coming up with this term. I'm not the first one to say trade deficit, trade war. When you talk about tariffs, you're talking about trade, and you're talking about a country's livelihood. When we talk about Russia and the Ukraine and the 28-point peace plan that the Democrats are poo-pooing, it's because the Russians are at the table discussing peace. Why? Because the Russians want access to the GA and to trade and to trade and to trade. Trade is commerce and economics. Without being able to trade, you cannot survive as a first world country in the new Web 3.0 future that is coming. So Russia is incentivized to come to the table for peace, and countries like China and India are incentivized to adhere to new American tariffs that put American farmers and American wages first. If you don't understand today's topic.
This is a national security issue. I think you put it just perfectly. And so I want for all of us in the room to know that rice is more than just a commodity. It's a currency in many of these countries.
And you love rice, right?
I love rice. Yes, I'm going to get you to love rice too. You know, the next time you're not going to have a button for a Coke, you're going to have a button for a rice. But
the farmers love what they do.
Yeah, that's true. Well, our farmers can feed this nation and many nations abroad. But we need fair trade, not free trade. And so
Amen.
We appreciate what you've done today. We appreciate what you did in the big, beautiful bill. I mean, you really changed reference prices. And, you know, we're hopeful that we can even move that further. I know that rice prices right now are the lowest they've been in over 40 years. So we're going to struggle. We're going to max out on our payments probably. So that's something that I know those in Congress can potentially help us with to change. But again, we appreciate everything you're doing.
That's solved so quickly with tariffs to these countries that are illegally shipping. It's solved your problem.
Hey, do y'all understand tariffs a little bit better this morning? Do you understand tariffs a little bit better this morning? Do you understand the trade deficit, the trade war? What's up with your BDBGP? Big Daddy Beer Gaming in the building. Double tap at the like button. 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. Do you understand tariffs a little bit better this morning? Double tap at the like button. Like, share, and subscribe. Do you understand tariffs a little bit more this morning? $12 billion in an aid package going to farmers in tariffs on this terrific Trump Tuesday. POTUS, I'm delighted to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs, and we're going to do with that money is provide a $12 billion economic stimulus to American workers. This is Donald Trump announcing the $12 billion stimulus plan, letting everybody know that the tariffs that they want to poo-poo so bad is actually out here helping Americans, man. Actually out here helping Americans. Let's go, everybody.
Delighted to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election, because without the election you wouldn't have tariffs. You'd be sitting here losing your shirt. But we're taking in billions. We're really taking in trillions of dollars, if you think about it, Scott, because the real numbers, you know, when you think of all the money being poured into the country for new auto plants and all of the other things, AI. So what we're doing is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me, because you know, based on voting trends, you could call it voting trends or anything else, but they're great people. They're the backbone of our country. So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers. $12 billion is a lot of money, Meryl. What do you think? Peanuts for you, though, right? Peanuts. She's a farmer of rice. This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops, and it'll help them continue their efforts to lower food prices for American families.
This will help lower prices, food prices for American families. This will help lower prices for food, prices for American family. Double tap, hit the like button. Welcome to the Perfect Timing Podcast. Back at it like a crack at it, automatic like a phobematic, built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, back with the blast, in and out with a dash. 2025 won't last, so we're going to get this done real fast. 2025 in and out with a dash, man. It's December. We've been saying that shit, man, and now it's almost January, man. How, man, what a year. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, what a year, man. We've been kicking much ass this year, man. Getting it done, having fun, man. Number one podcast in the land for geopolitics and debate, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. I appreciate everybody for watching, man. Trump is a paper. The problem is AIPAC. Trump is a paper or a puppet. The problem is AIPAC. I don't want to blame everything on AIPAC. We're not going to blame everything on AIPAC. You know, that's the Candace Owens. There's a whole group of people that want to point the finger at one thing. It's too easy to do that. I think it's intellectually lazy. And it just tells me that you've been watching certain podcasts, but not reading, right? Not reading, not doing your research, right? That's what I need you to do. I need you to do your research and do a little bit more reading and less listening. You know what I'm saying? So you've heard that term before. Do you know what it means? It's an acronym. Do you know what they do, right? Like there's so much more to these issues than just what you hear in a soundbite, right? What's going on with America is much more deeper. That's why I like Milo, right? When Milo Yiannopoulos was on these podcasts recently talking about why did America not vote for Hillary Clinton? Hillary Clinton represented everything that was wrong with America. The Clinton mafia, the issues with the children on that plane, the issues in Haiti and Jamaica, Hillary Clinton staying married to Bill Clinton after he did that debauchery in the White House. Like, it was so much the American people was done with the Clintons, right? They wanted a different direction, right? This is the same thing that happened the first time that Trump was elected. Biden, the Hunter Biden laptop, you know what I'm saying? Cocaine, him sleeping with his brother, the Burisma, the you know what I'm saying? Biden being the head of the policy in Ukraine. Like, American people were tired, bro. It was much more. I mean, Biden and his son has nothing to do with AIPAC, Israel, and the people who want you to be mad at a certain race of people in a certain country. Do you understand what I'm saying? Biden, Clinton, the Bushes, these American families that have affected your life in politics have nothing to do with the things that you wanted to do with. It does have to do with corrupt white men in America. And if you take a look at these families, you know, the Sacklers, the ones who created the fentanyl, people who created fentanyl, people who created Oxycontin, the people who created Vicodin. What they got to do with the people you talked about? It don't got shit to do with that. They got away with murder. They got away with billions. They lied to the FDA. They put people in the FDA. They put people in the pharmaceutical industry. They murdered hundreds of millions of Americans. They made billions of dollars. This is what we need to talk about. Then that's why we voted for Trump, because they work with the Democrats in their corruption. Did you know that they work with the Democrats in their corruption? This is why we voted for Trump, because we wanted to clean the swamp. What is clean the swamp? Stop the pharmaceutical companies. Stop the insurance companies. Stop the companies on companies, right? Stop Wall Street. Stop all these companies from taking every penny and dime from the American people. And because people have been trained to dislike Trump, they don't even understand that it's somebody trying to fight for you and give back. Before this, no one gave anything to farmers. Do you know what? Farmers have been starving. Farmers have been starving for the past, ever since the Democrats have taken over. The Democrats have been in power for the last 15 of 20 years. Barack Obama, 8 years. Biden for 4 years. And since then, farmers have been broke and poor. Under Bill Clinton, farmers lost money because Bill Clinton shipped everything in NAFTA overseas. This is the first I've ever heard where American farmers have been prioritized. It could not happen without the tariffs. And the thing is that it is so poisonous and powerful. The other day, somebody was talking about how powerful the media is. The media and social media is so powerful that Americans, without reading, with all of the numbers we know about the literacy rates, about the intelligence rates, about the graduation rates, Americans think they understand economics enough to say that the tariff is a tax. They're not paying their taxes. They had a moratorium where they didn't pay their rent. No one paid their energy bills. But who believes that the American public are that savvy when it comes to economics that they truly understand tariffs and how tariffs appear as a tax to the consumer when you're not even really a consumer? See, this is the problem. I'm very serious. I've always been serious, and that's what this is all about. People who don't spend money, and I'm not mad at you that you got caught up in a horrible time in America, right? It's a horrible time in America. Barack Obama and Joe Biden have been in power for over 12 years, and they ruined America. Donald Trump has been in power 4 years. This time, he's only been in power for 10 months so far. It's lazy intellectually to look at the circumstances in your life. The millennials every day, millennials and zillennials are complaining, I don't want to work my whole life. I don't want to, and they equate their problems with not being able to buy a mortgage, with not having quality wages to Donald Trump. Well, that's intellectually lazy and foolish if you look at the scope. If you look at how long the Democrats were in power and did nothing for everyday working individuals, but they did pay off Wall Street. Obama did give Jamie Dimon and Wall Street so much money, and they gave out $1 million bonuses. Do you guys remember Occupy Wall Street? Do you remember TARP? Do you remember the Democrats and quantitative easing? Do you remember the Democrats creating more millionaires and billionaires than we've ever had in American history? That's what happened under the Democrats. They've been in power for 12 out of the last 15 years. This is what you've had. Your wages have been stagnant. Your quality of life is dipping and going down. But still you want to blame someone who's only been in office for months when Barack Obama was there for a decade. And then his vice president was there for another 5. That's 15 years, brothers and sisters. This world has been run by Democrats and liberals. This is why Trump won such a mandate. That's why we got the House. This is why we got the Senate. This is why we got the White House, because the American people gave the Democrats 15 of the last 20 years, gave them 3 terms, and this is what you have now. You have, think about these realities. After Barack Obama, the first black your mama, Barack Obama, your black mama, after Barack Obama and Biden's terms over 15 years, what do you have? You have brand new, after 20-year conflict in Iraq and Afghanistan, Joe Biden embarrasses America when he leaves Afghanistan. Why did Joe Biden get taken out of the presidential campaign? Joe Biden got taken out of the presidential campaign because in that first debate, Donald Trump called him out on the fact that he is not an effective leader based on how he retreated from Afghanistan, and now we have a brand new problem in Afghanistan. That just came up just last week. Just last week, what came up? The brand new problem that we have to deal with in Afghanistan because of the way the Democrats left Afghanistan and Iraq, a 20-year war, 15 of those years with Barack Obama and Joe Biden. So what do we have after think about it. They sold you a dream of change and hope. To this day, if you go around black communities, you still see Barack Obama bumper stickers that say hope and change. But what did you actually get? You got conflict in Israel, right? Damn near killing children. How many people dead in Israel and Gaza? You got conflict in the Ukraine. The Ukraine has suffered so many casualties that the Democrats to this day who are leading the media will not be honest on the casualties in the Ukraine and how much damage and carnage Kamala Harris did with her NATO expansion rhetoric. Because Kamala Harris wants to run for office again in 2024. 2028. So we can't be honest about the damages done in the Ukraine because Kamala Harris, to this day, Zelensky is still running around. Zelensky got to go. We got to do a regime change in Ukraine. If we ever going to get peace and prosperity in the world, Zelensky's going to have to go because he's a comedian and he thinks this shit is a game where he can just stay in office until the next Democrat comes in and they go to World War III. Zelensky's going to get removed. Zelensky's running around Europe talking about a bunch of bullshit like he has soldiers. He doesn't have soldiers. And Trump has said, we're not giving any soldiers. We're not giving any more money to the Ukraine. The Ukraine is broke. There are realities about our geopolitics that they just won't share with you. What do you didn't subscribe to say this, so you're gonna have to put it in the super chat. Hey, D Jenkins, I'm gonna put you on time out for putting that paragraph in my chat. And if you want to say something, go ahead and put it in the super chat. Don't put no paragraphs. Go ahead and put it in the super chat. And thank you for subscribing. Double tap hit the like button, everybody. Thank you for subscribing. Double tap hit the like button right now.
Because without the election, you wouldn't have tariffs.
That's right, baby. Now today, this morning, we talking about Donald Trump, $12 billion to the farmers. Trump announces $12 billion in aid for farmers from tariff funds. The package provides $11 billion for producers of crops like corn, soybeans, wheat, and others. This is all funded by tariff revenues as a bridge amid low prices and trade issues. Payments will arrive early next year. And listen, this is so important that you double tap and you share with a like-minded individual, because a lot of people watching right now is base content. You love your grandfather, you love your family in the Midwest, you go see him every summer. Right now, you need to let them know, hey, I've been watching this new podcast, this conservative podcast, Grandpa. This guy has a lot of information, and he said that Donald Trump is giving out money, but there is a December 19th deadline. Grandpa, did you fill out the paperwork? I'll fill it out for you. Have you heard about it? Everybody right now in the chat, write it down. December 19th is the deadline, and I want everybody to get their money right now. Call your relatives, call your uncles. This ain't about race. This ain't about sex or color or creed. This is about America first, agriculture first. Donald Trump deal see, let me give some more foundation. How many people know when did we start collecting tariffs? We started collecting tariffs August 1st of this year. How many people know how much money we've collected via tariff revenue thus far in 2025? We've collected damn near $400 billion in tariff revenue since August 1st. Did you guys know that? This is why Trump is floating the $2,000 stimulus check, because we actually have the money to pay for it. It will cost $300 billion for everybody to get a $2,000 stimulus check. Did you guys know that? We actually have collected the money. In the entire 4-year term of Donald Trump, if we continue to collect tariffs, it will be over $1 trillion collected in tariff revenue that will not only pay out stimulus checks, give back money to farmers and WIC mothers, but also pay down the deficit. This is what hasn't been told to you. For the first time ever, an American president has an apparatus to pay down the deficit, not make the deficit larger, but to actually pay down the deficit. So we're talking about helping the soybean farmers who you guys were complaining about just last week. Shout out to Mrs. Perfect Timing in the chat. That's how you look if you join the chat and you become a member. Shout out to Mrs. Perfect Timing. What's for lunch, baby? I'm starving. Double tap hit the like button. The farmers are going to get $12 billion from tariff revenue. This is the power of tariffs. This is the power of trade. This is the power of tariffs. This is the power of trade. The package provides $11 billion for producers of crops like corn. I'm sorry, I keep saying coin. I must got money on the brain, money on my mind, because money is all I think of. The package is $11 billion. That's why I keep saying coin, because it's a lot of coin. $11 billion for producers of crops like corn, soybeans, wheat, and others, funded by tariff revenue. $11 billion, all 100% funded by tariff revenue. You would not have this if it wasn't for Trump, because you wouldn't have tariffs. As a bridge among low prices and a trade issue, Payments will arrive early next year based on 2025 acreage reports. Get your acreage reports in, with the farmers needing to submit a December 19th form. Everybody write down the date. If you know a farmer, if you're related to a farmer, if you grew up going to a farm in the summertime visiting your relative, let them know Trump has a $12 billion aid package, but you got to get your form in by December 19th, 2025. What is that? 10 days away. We got 18 days till Christmas, 17 days till Christmas. December 19th, Christmas for the farmers, baby. Christmas for American farmers. Supporters praise the move as putting America first / putting agriculture first. I said supporters praise this move as by putting America first, by putting agriculture first, while critics called it a bailout for tariff-related problems, echoing 2018 aid during tensions with China. Double tap, hit the like button. Can we be a farm? We grow food. Hey, we a farm. We a farm. Let's put in our application, man. Let's put in our application, man. Let's put in our application.
Taking a small portion of the 100 this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a
right
to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a
United States. We announced this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small percentage of tariff revenue and giving it to the farmers in the $12 billion aid package. In a $12 billion.
Delighted to announce this afternoon that the United States will be taking a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election. Because without the election, you wouldn't have tariffs.
Hey, that's MAGA!
But we're taking in billions. We're really taking in trillions of dollars, if you think about it, Scott, because the real numbers, when you think of all the money being poured into the country for new auto plants and all of the other things, AI. So what we're doing is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me, because based on voting trends, you could call it voting trends or anything else, but they're great people. They're the backbone of our country. So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers. $12 billion is a lot of money, Meryl. What do you think? Peanuts for you, though, right? Peanuts. She's a farmer of rice. This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market and look ahead to next year's crops, and it'll help them continue their efforts to lower food prices for American families.
$12 billion, ladies and gentlemen. Put it in the chat. $12 billion. What we're talking about is our lead story today is that Trump tariffs lead to $12 billion in revenue going to farmers in an aid package. Trump tariffs lead to $12 billion in revenue in the aid package right now. Let me lead you to details today's lead story. The package provides $11 billion for producers of crops like corn. I keep saying coin. Double tap, hashtag coin. Today's new title gonna be coin. It's gonna be coin. It's gonna be Trump coin. That's gonna be the title for today because I keep saying coin because it's $11 billion. $11 billion for producers of crops like corn, soybeans, wheat, and others, funded by tariff revenue. 100% of this $11 billion is funded by Trump tariffs. That's why I just played a video that said you would not have this without the election, because without electing Donald Trump, you would not have the Trump tariffs. And we take full responsibility for the Trump tariffs on Tuesday morning. It's a terrific Tuesday. Put it in the chat right now. It is a terrific Trump Tuesday. This is a bridge to prices and trade issues. Payments will arrive early next year based on 2025 acreage reports, with farmers needing to submit a form by December 19th. Everybody write that down. December 19th. All my farmers, make sure you get your form submitted to the Trump administration so you get your portion of this $12 billion tariff revenue that has been set aside. Now, how much did he say? Trump said we're going to collect trillions of dollars. Did not say we're going to collect trillions of dollars. I want to play the video again. Trump just said we're going to collect trillions of dollars.
A small portion of the
Trump just said we're going to collect trillions of dollars, and I need you guys to understand right now. Okay, how many people understand how long we've been collecting tariffs? We've been collecting tariffs in this country since August 1st. Double tap, hit the like button if you don't know some of these facts. If you're going to learn something today, I would love it if you hit the like button and let me know that you learned something today. So we started collecting the Trump tariffs August 1st. How much money have we collected since August 1st? Then we can do the math per quarter on how much money we will collect in over 4 years in the Trump presidency via the Trump tariffs. Well, since August 1st, we have collected over $300 billion in tariff revenue. Since August 1st, we have collected over $300 billion in tariff revenue. So how many quarters do we have in the next 3 years? 4 quarters for each year. 4 times 3 is 12. If each quarter we collect $300 million, that's 1,200 million per year. How many trillions is that? Trump just said trillions, but that's not the only money, because I announced that when the brand new Japanese prime minister took office, she announced $700 billion investment. Toyota just announced a $500 billion investment in brand new auto plants across 5 states. Toyota is building 5 new auto plants across 5 states based on tariff and trade policies by Donald Trump and the Trump administration.
get a small portion of the hundreds of billions of dollars we receive in tariffs. We are making a lot of money from countries that took advantage of us for years. They took advantage of us like nobody's ever seen. Our deficits are way down because of tariffs. I guess because of the election, because without the election you wouldn't have tariffs. You'd be sitting here losing your shirt. But we're taking in billions. We're really taking in trillions of dollars, if you think about it, Scott, because the real numbers, you know, when you think of all the money being poured into the country for new auto plants and all of the other things, AI. So what we're doing is we're taking a relatively small portion of that, and we're going to be giving and providing it to the farmers in economic assistance. And we love our farmers, and as you know, the farmers like me, because you know, based on voting trends, you could call it voting trends or anything else, but they're great people. They're the backbone of our country. So we're going to use that money to provide $12 billion in economic assistance to American farmers. $12 billion is a lot of money, Merrill. What do you think? Peanuts for you, though, right?
Is $12 billion a lot of money? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree that $12 billion is a lot of money to go to tariff. $12 billion to the farmers. Put a 1 in the chat if you support Trump and $12 billion going to the farmers.
She's a farmer of rice. This relief will provide much needed certainty to farmers as they get this year's harvest to market. And look.
Shout out to Deborah Carr. I love you, Deborah Carr. That's my sister. Salute to you, Deborah Carr. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the show, everybody.
Ahead to next year's crops, and it'll help them continue their efforts to lower food prices for American families.
This will help lower food. It's so many. I mean, today we're talking about a lot, but it's so much to extrapolate from this topic, right? This is going to lower food prices. This is going to employ Americans. This is going to help farmers. It's going to have a positive rippling good effects. This is going to have positive rippling good effects for Americans on multiple levels. Not just the farmers, but you will benefit when you go buy your milk, when the milk prices go down. This is going to have rippling positive effects across the board. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to the Trump tariffs. Shout out to Trump and shout out to the Trump tariffs, man. $12 billion aid package, man. Don't worry, farmers. Help is on the way. Double tap at the like button. Double tap at the like button. Like, share, subscribe. Share with a like-minded MAGA individual.
Story at night, putting him to bed, and he said, "Daddy, I don't want Santa Claus to come to our house for Christmas. I want President Trump." And I think, Mr. Trump, I think you brought Christmas to farmers. With this bridge payment, we'll be able to farm another year, help us get by. It's such an honor to be here with you. Story at night, putting him to bed.
Donald Trump is the new Donald Trump for Santa Claus. Donald Trump for Santa Claus. He said, "Daddy, I don't want Santa Claus. I want Trump Claus." Put Trump Claus in the chat right now. Put Trump Claus in the chat right. Double tap in the like button. 12 billion. I feel you, man. 12 billion. That'll make me say ho, 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 too, right? Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, man. $12 billion tariff revenue, man. Ho, ho, ho. Come on, man. Double tap in the like button. Ho, 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 man. We talking about Donald Trump giving out $12 billion, man. $12 billion in tariff revenue, man. Come on, man. How can you not?
Economic assistance, and we love our farmers.
How can you not be excited about this, man? I'm excited, man. Let's talk about it, man. A lot of folks need to hear about it, man. Double tap hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. You watching the Perfect Timing Podcast, 12 billion.
On the topic of affordability, I know one of the things that upsets a lot of folks is the price of groceries. And yesterday, President Trump announced a $9 billion aid package to support our farmers, strengthen the agriculture industry. And that's not just helping our farmers. It will pass down to people at the grocery store. This is a big deal, and it's also not funded by tax dollars. It's funded by tariff.
It will also pass down to people at the grocery store. It's not funded by tax dollars. It's funded by tariffs. Did you hear that? So the farmers who we love finally get a break, and the American people will get a break on grocery prices. Pay attention. We're doing some great education here today. That's all we do is educate the public.
That's right. Yes. Yesterday, here at the White House, President Trump met with a group of great farmers from around the country and announced $12 billion in relief for them, again, funded through his successful tariffs, which have brought in billions of dollars back into our country to refuel our manufacturing industry. And now President Trump is paying that back to our agricultural industry, which is truly the backbone of our nation's food supply. And
Caroline, on the topic of affordability, I know one of the things.
Now Trump is paying it back and paying it forward. You guys pay it back and pay it forward right now. Double tap, hit the like button. That's how you pay it back and pay it forward, man. $12 billion to the farmers. Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas to the farmers, man. Merry Christmas, man. That's our lead story, man. What else we got? We got Jasmine Crockett exposing. Y'all came for the red meat. Let's get into the red meat. Let's get into exposing who is Jasmine Crockett. I got so much to talk about when we talk about Jasmine Crockett, man. Farmer bailout. Thank you to Trump for the farmer bailout. Jasmine Crockett. Let's talk about the queen of fake struggle. Y'all see my fire thumbnail. Double tap, hit the like button. You like that thumbnail, man. You like the description and everything we've been doing with the channel, man. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing, man. This is all we do is fire MAGA, conservative, geopolitical content. #1 place on the internet for geopolitical debate. Let's have it right now. Jasmine Crockett no longer has a job. Did you know Jasmine Crockett lost her seat? Jasmine Crockett got on the plane. Jasmine Crockett was hella lame. Jasmine Crockett got hella meat. Jasmine Crockett lost her seat. Let's go, MAGA. Let's talk about the queen of fake struggle. Jasmine Crockett, private jet, got all those people to go on a private jet Crockett. This woman will scream, "I'm a black woman in America," while sipping champagne at $40,000 at 40,000 feet on your dime. We got the receipts. $40,000 hotels, black car services, private flights. Didn't I tell you when she left? Didn't I tell you? I gave you the numbers on how much she spent on jets. I told you how much she spent. When she left Texas to fight those 5 seats, that Marxist leftist taxes are leaving her job. I don't know why she thinks she gets to run for Senate after abandoning her job. Jasmine Crockett got on a jet plane and went to Chicago, went to New York, went to California, got Governor Gavin Newsom to run a special election over her 5 seats. But Gavin, she never told us that one of the 5 seats was her seat, and Jasmine Crockett lost her job. A lot of people are saying Jasmine Crockett running for Senate. Jasmine Crockett running for Senate. Jasmine Crockett need a job. Jasmine Crockett need a job because she lost her job when Greg Abbott redistricted Texas. And did you know the Supreme Court last week? Did you know the Supreme Court finalized the brand new Texas map? And that's when Jasmine Crockett, yesterday, December 8th, was the deadline. Yesterday, December 8th, was the deadline. See, she was waiting on the Supreme Court to come back and rule on the legitimacy of the brand new Texas map. See, the brand new Texas map has been legitimized by the Supreme Court. That means Jasmine Crockett district was about 766,000 people, has now been enveloped into a broader, wider red county, and Jasmine Crockett knows she can't win. Did you hear what I said? I said Jasmine Crockett, the congresswoman from the 33rd, she could still run as a congresswoman for Congress in that district. I said the problem is with those 5 seats now merging because of changing, shifting demographics in Texas, who we all know Texas has always been a red state. It's not a surprise to us that Texas is now becoming a more red state, right? But somehow it's surprising to the Democrats that Texas is becoming a more red state during the MAGA time like this. I don't think that's shocking or anything surprising about that. But Jasmine Crockett, what you should understand, Jasmine Crockett quit. She was a congresswoman of the 33rd district, but because that district got now enveloped into a broader, wider red district, she understands she can't be the Republican conservative MAGA. Can we have a real talk this morning? Double tap, hit the like button. Can I get some MAGA in the chat? I said Jasmine Crockett is not running because she understands after her district was merged into a red conservative district, she could not beat the Republican conservative. I'm not making this up. Jasmine Crockett knows she can't win. But so instead, she's going to primary from the left and she's going to run for Senate. But the problem is that no one is telling you. Did you know what I'm about to share with you? Number one, did you know Jasmine Crockett lost her job? Did you know she quit? Marjorie Taylor Greene quit. I don't care what you say. Marjorie Taylor Greene quit. Jasmine Crockett quit. Now, we're going to see if MTG tries to run for Senate. But Jasmine Crockett filed yesterday, and she announced yesterday, we're going to play the video, that Jasmine Crockett is running for Senate in Texas. But Texas, let me tell you something. All other states, all you people listening, Texas has not elected a Democrat to the Senate for over 40 years, 37 years, going back to 1988, Back to the Future. You heard what I said, Marty McFly. I said Texas has not elected a Democratic senator in over 37 years. Go back to the 19th century, 1988. But some reason, Jasmine Crockett thinks when she done a piss poor job in her district currently in South Dallas, we're going to look at video from her district, fucking toilets on the ground, homeless people. That's her current district. That's her current legacy. But she thinks she deserves to get a promotion despite her leaving and losing her seat, losing those 5 seats, losing to Greg Abbott, losing to the American people, loser. Now she thinks she can run for Senate, and she thinks she can do it by being Miss Thang, Miss Black Girl, Miss Weave, Miss Mink Eyelashes, Miss Black Girl Thang, and I'm going to expose it as an act. Oh yeah, you seen Jasmine Crockett in the Congress when she was talking about y'all don't let a black woman talk, and it's so difficult to be a black woman in politics. Did you know that Jasmine Crockett is an elite? Jasmine Crockett is not your average everyday black woman. As she gets on the stage and snaps her fingers and she wears her weave, she is a caricature, and it's an insult. It's an insult to all black women because she believes that's how black women comport themselves. She doesn't truly act this way. Jasmine Crockett grew up in $1 million mansion. Jasmine Crockett received, am I getting ahead of myself? Who is Jasmine Crockett? Who is Jasmine? I'm going to expose. Can we expose? That's right. Let's talk about the queen of fake struggle. Jasmine had a private jet. The woman will scream, "I'm a black woman in America," while sipping champagne at 40,000 feet on taxpayers' dime. We got the receipts. She spent $47,000 on hotels, black car services, and private flights. As a House member, how much money is she gonna spend when she get to be a senator and be in charge of more? Ma'am, you went to private school and she went to Rhodes College. I can't make this up. Your favorite black woman snapping her fingers in Congress went to private school and is a Rhodes Scholar. You can't make this up. Yeah, I'm not lying. She went to private school in high school and she went to Rhodes College. This is the most expensive college in the country and one of the most expensive colleges in the world. Jasmine Crockett, she's an elite. The only struggle you know is choosing between Dom Perignon and Cristal. That's right, baby. The mask didn't slip. It got launched out of emergency exit over the Atlantic. Let's take a look, man. Let's take a look at, I want to show you her announcement. And take a look at the weave, take a look at the mink, take a look, listen to the voice, and then we're going to go and expose who she is, where she came from, why she dressed like this, why she wearing this wig, why she wearing this makeup, and she grew up in opulence. She didn't wear no wig. Her mama didn't wear no weave. She grew up in opulence. Let's talk about it this morning. Jasmine Crockett, Senate campaign.
Y'all are ready to hear some good news, and some of y'all already heard it before you even got here. Yes, it is true. I am running to become your next United States Senator. Some good news, and some of y'all already...
It looked like an animal is on the back of her head. Look how much fake hair.
You heard it before you even got here.
When I say a character, this is what I mean by a caricature. This much hair, the hair is still going. That's all fake human hair that costs thousands of dollars, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is true. I am running to become your next United States Senator from the state of Texas. There's a responsibility that lies with all of us, especially in this moment. There are a lot of people that said, you got to stay in the House. We need our voice. We need you there. And I understand. But what we need is for me to have a bigger voice. What we need is not only a voice, but we need to make sure that we are going to stop all the hell that is raining down on all of our people.
All the hell that's raining down on our people. She said she need a bigger voice. No, you need more hair. This ain't enough hair. She need more hair. She said she need a bigger voice, and she want to stop the hell. She want to stop the hell. What hell did Jasmine Crockett experience in this $1 million home? Hold on. Jasmine Crockett said she want to stop the hell that is raining down on her people. I don't. Who is she talking to? She is not. None of us is her people. None of us is her. Let's go. Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett grew up in $1 million homes, but Jasmine Crockett said that we are her people, right? Her people, right? Where did Jasmine Crockett come from, everybody? Let's go. Let's talk about it.
St. Louis with the mansions, country clubs, and private schools. This is where Jasmine Crockett was raised. We're talking quiet suburbs, manicured lawns, college brochures in the mailbox, and neighbors who wave when they mow the lawn.
This is where Jasmine Crockett went to school. It's called the Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School. It's one of the most prestigious institutions in the entire country, also one of the most expensive. Check this out. This isn't just a good school. This is the #1 school in the entire state of Missouri. It costs $35,000 per year to attend high school here.
Jasmine Crockett's high school cost $35,000 a year. She lived in a suburban millionaire mansion in St. Louis. We're not looking at a college. This is her high school. We're not talking about a college tuition. We're talking about Jasmine Crockett, brand new Senate run, and how and where she came from with that black girl attitude. We're talking about Jasmine Crockett, your favorite black girl. Remember, bleach blonde, bad built, and black women got it so hard. And she just made her announcement saying that I want to run because black people be catching hell. Jasmine Crockett knows nothing about catching hell. She's trying, the Democrats love to use race and race baiting and victim shaming and say black people are victims when Jasmine Crockett is a multimillionaire. How can Jasmine Crockett represent black victims when she is a black elite? You're not a black victim. I don't know any black victims. Look at my studio. I got thousands of dollars of microphones and equipment, thousands of dollars worth of jewelry, thousands of dollars worth of glasses. Jasmine Crockett, me and you are not fucking victims. Stop victim shame, blaming, and explaining. You came from multi-millionaire mother and a father in a two-parent home. Let's get back to the video. Jasmine Crockett High School, $35,000 a semester. Did you hear what I said? This is Jasmine Crockett's high school, $35,000 a semester. Think about all the black girl shit you heard. Look it up. Look it up. MICDS. I want you guys to look it up.
Most prestigious institutions in the entire country, also one of the most expensive. Check this out. This isn't just a good school. This is the #1 school in the entire state of Missouri. It costs $35,000 per year to attend high school here. And the reason why is because the average test scores here guarantee your placement in an elite college institution. It's one of the best preparatory schools in the world. The average SAT score here is 1350, and the average ACT score here is 30. This is an elite institution.
Jasmine Crockett was educated in an elite institution. When you hear the black girl, when you hear the black girl rhetoric and vocabulary and lingo, please now going forward understand that it is a character. Jasmine Crockett is playing a character. When you hear the black girl mannerisms, when you hear the black girl vocabulary, that she is playing a character and she is making fun of you. Her high school costs more than anything in your life will ever cost. You have no idea who Jasmine Crockett is. I said her high school costs more than anything you will ever purchase, more than your car, more than your house, more than your life. Her high school costs more than your life. This is who we're talking about, black elite. And she wants to tell white people that black people are victims, that black people are catching hell. You didn't catch hell. Black people in America live lives like you. Why do you need to get votes based on black people being ghetto? And why are you acting ghetto to get votes? I think it's fucking disgusting. Let's pay attention. We're exposing Jasmine Crockett today.
Did your high school have its own private Wimbledon? How large was your high school's lacrosse field? This lacrosse field is expansive. Did your high school have its own aquatic center on site? Can Jasmine Crockett swim? She has no excuse because she went here. This is where Yasmine learned to play clarinet by the apple tree.
Yasmine.
On this beautiful campus of the Mary Institute, St. Louis Country Day School.
Jasmine Crockett.
Did your high school have its own private dock and pond teeming with colorful fish and wildlife? I think not. Neither did mine. Because we're poor. But Yasmine is elite.
Yasmine!
After graduating from this elite country day school, Jasmine Crockett was immediately accepted at another elite institution, Rhodes College.
in Tennessee. Rhodes College is a private liberal arts school that looks like Hogwarts and costs a whopping $74,000 per year. That makes Rhodes one of the most expensive colleges in America.
Jasmine Crockett left that elite high school, $35,000 a year. Then she attended Rhodes College at $75,000 a year, the most expensive college in America. The high school was the best high school in the globe, and Rhodes College is one of the best colleges in the globe. In fact, it's called being a Rhodes Scholar. Can somebody put that in the motherfucking chat? It's called being a Rhodes Scholar. Globally, number one. Globally, she's a Rhodes Scholar. How many of you knew that? And it wasn't on fucking and she didn't go on FAFSA. She didn't go on FAFSA. I don't even know if Rhodes College accepts FAFSA. Does Rhodes College accept FAFSA? Can somebody put in the chat? Does Rhodes College accept FAFSA? I don't think it accepts FAFSA, right? Let's talk about it.
There are only 2,000 students enrolled at this institution, nestled in the rolling leafy hills of Old Memphis, and Jasmine, from the block, is one of them.
From the block.
The elitism did not end there. Jasmine went on to attend and graduate from the University of Houston Law Center, where tuition runs a whopping $40,000 per year. In total, Jasmine Crockett's elite education cost close to $1 million.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, can we have a talk this morning? Jasmine Crockett education between high school, college, and law school costed over a whopping $1 million in cash money. Can we have a talk this morning? I want to talk to you. Come and talk to me. I really want to meet you, girl. I really want to know your name. Woo! $1 million to educate you, and you sound so lame. Sound so lame. Woo! $1 million. Can everybody say it with me? 1 million. Can we say it together in the chat? $1 million. You'll never see $1 million. Your mama gonna see $1 million. You, your mama, your grandma, your 3-4 generations never, ever gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. You never gonna get $1 million. You never gonna see $1 million. And she was, her parents loved her. The people who supported her, they put $1 million into her education before she got a job. I don't think we can fathom this. She's not in our world. She's not in our sphere of understanding. You do not understand this type of upbringing. Do you get where I'm coming from? Why is this important? Why do you get where $1 million education? Who invests $1 million into their daughter's education? She's supposed to run for president. She's supposed to run for, you have no idea what's going on. You guys are totally clueless. You didn't know about the 5 seats, and you didn't know who Jasmine Crockett really is. They do is government money. They do. You can go have a seat. You can go have a seat. Go have a seat, DJ. And you ain't gonna never see $1 million. You would never. You see, this is the lack of understanding. This is how the Democrats. This is what makes the Democrats so evil and sinister. Now imagine when you heard Jasmine Crockett saying everything she said about the government shutdown. How could you listen to someone who is a multi-millionaire about food stamps? She doesn't relate. Jasmine Crockett doesn't understand food stamps. Jasmine Crockett doesn't understand EBT. She doesn't relate. You want her to advocate for you when she has no correlation to your current station. She doesn't have any resemblance to EBT, food stamps, or poverty. Her parents spent $1 million on her education. Why would you believe that she would be a good advocate for you? Why would she be able to argue on your behalf? She's a lawyer, right? She's a lawyer, right? You want to hire a lawyer that has, if you're going to trial, they have something called a trial attorney, right? Remember Brian YSL Steele? He's now known as being a RICO attorney because he's beat several RICO cases. So now Brian Steele is not only a trial attorney, he's also a RICO lawyer, right? So if Jasmine Crockett is a lawyer, what type of lawyer are you getting to advocate for you? You're getting a Rhodes Scholar. You're getting a Rhodes Scholar. Now let me tell you, she is qualified. She is beautiful. But I just need you to refocus on what she's actually qualified and what she's actually doing. Is she qualified to advocate? And now let's look at her section of Dallas and let's see how she did. Let's see what type of job she did, because I'm telling you, she's not a good advocate for you because she cannot relate to your station. And this is maybe why she did such a piss poor job as a representative of the 33rd District, and now she thinks she can get a promotion.
Just to talk like this on national TV.
Donald Trump is a piece of shit. Okay, we know that. Yes. He is. But in a functioning democracy.
Tisk tisk. What would Yasmin's English instructors here think of her now? Time goes by. I forgot. Jasmine Crockett didn't always used to talk like a hood rat. For most of her life, Jasmine talked like this.
I just got to Austin, and I had to meet 5 people to get here.
After graduating law school, Jasmine wanted to start her own law firm.
We gotta play that back. How did she used to talk? Look at how she used to look, right? Straight up Becky. Man, you can't make this up. I just got here. I had to meet 5 people just to get here. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Becky. Hi, Jasmine. Hi.
Most of her life, Jasmine talked like this.
I just got to Austin, and I had to meet 5 people to get here.
Put on that black girl, Jasmine. And that was her real hair. Keep in mind, this was there's no weave, you know what I'm saying? And look at the makeup, look at everything, and then look at how she looks now.
Got to Austin, and I had to meet 5 people to get here.
After graduating law school, Jasmine went on to start her own law firm. She got elected immediately to the Texas State House and then moved swiftly to the U.S. Congress.
Look at all that hair.
With the help.
Look at all that hair. Look at all that hair. Look at all that hair. It's not her. Look at all that fake hair. Louis Vuitton. Who is paying for this? Who is paying for this? You are paying for it, and she's a multi-millionaire. Yasmin.
Help of just a few foreign billionaires along the way. And now she's polling for president in 2028. If anything, Jasmine Crockett's life story is not a condemnation of systemic racism in America, but the true definition of obscene American privilege, that anyone from anywhere can be and do anything. This isn't started from the bottom, now we're here. This is started from the Neighborhood Watch, and now we're in the HOA. Here's what your average street looks like in South Dallas, where Jasmine Crockett represents.
Best part about Jasmine Crockett's district is free public bathrooms. Think about it. That's where your tax dollars are going. Man, someone was having a cookout right here. Look, see, the pan and the charcoals are ready to go. Jasmine, why did you invite us to the cookout? Look, there's the pans. And here's the rest of the cookout right here.
And here's what your street looks like in St. Louis, in the suburbs where Jasmine Crockett's from. Here's what a school looks like in South Dallas.
Here's an elementary school in the heart of Jasmine Crockett's district. Let's go ahead and check on the environment in which these kids are learning. You have burned down buildings in every direction. Nothing's open. FDJT has been tagged on this building. Everything is just blight. Everything is been destroyed. Empty booze bottles sitting in the parking lot. Did Jasmine Crockett write FDJT? Maybe that's her contribution here. Decline is a choice. None of those businesses are open. All of them have been shuttered and burned to the ground. This is where the students are learning. It's bad. So that's the big school in Jasmine Crockett's district. You can see the playground and everything like that. There are kids playing on it. Here's the walkway to school in Crockett's district. This is what the children have to walk through every single day. I don't know how many booze bottles there are, how many beer cans, and how much junk Just a reminder that it's people who represent districts like these that want to bring you the Green New Deal. They're the ones who call themselves environmentalists. Remember that.
This is sick, bro. This is sick. And now she wants to run. She wants to run from Senate. This is what her district looked like, and she wants to get a promotion. This is what she looked like as a congresswoman. That is the South Dallas district of District 33. And that is what happened when, this is why I believe Greg Abbott voted in her district, because she wasn't doing her job. You know what I have an issue with most about Democrats like Jasmine Crockett? That they know more about geopolitical issues than they know about their own local issues, their own constituents. If you want to know why AOC doesn't win, if you want to know why Jasmine Crockett will not win in Senate, is because they do not know and they do not respect and honor their own constituents. How many people in the chat know what a constituent is? How many know how do you build constituency? How do you do that? You go door to door. You walk through that area. He should not have been the first person to walk through that one way in the biggest school in her district. She should have been the one with boots on the ground. What does Jasmine Crockett have boots on the ground talking about? Trump, national issues. But the problem is Jasmine Crockett had a local job. She had one job. Number one, she should have been trying to fight and defeat the big beautiful bill. She was quiet on the big beautiful bill. Beyond that, beyond arguing against these appropriation bills in the Congress, she was supposed to service her district, the locals of 33 in South Dallas. Make sure the streets don't have potholes. Make sure, unlike Gavin Newsom, fire hydrants have water. Make sure children have clean walkways. But Jasmine Crockett did none of those things, but she wants a promotion to the Senate. She wants a promotion to the Senate. I just had to let you know what's truly going on, who she is. $1 million education, a Rhodes Scholar. She is not your hood baby mama. Stop looking at Jasmine Crockett as some hood black girl success story. Can I say that one more time? Stop looking at Jasmine Crockett as some hood girl success story that did everything on the state's dime, had her education funded by the government. No, she came from a two-parent home. She lived in a multi-million-dollar mansion, and her parents invested $1 million into her education before she ever had a job. I said her parents invested $1 million into her education before she ever had a job. Now, what we're doing right now is looking at the South District in Dallas, number 33, where Jasmine Crockett just lost her job. See, she's not just running for Senate. She's running for Senate because she lost her job, because her seat was enveloped by a larger Republican district, and Jasmine Crockett does not believe she can beat the Republican incumbent. So versus running for the 33rd district again and going up against the Republican incumbent in this newly constructed district, she now wants to run for Senate. And her area of Texas looks like this.
And here's what a school looks like in St. Louis. Here's what a sidewalk looks like in South Dallas. And here's what a sidewalk looks like in St. Louis. And here's what stores and shopping centers look like in South Dallas.
Never seen so many downed power lines in my life. It's like the broken windows theory. When you let one window get broken, you're going to let every window get broken, because criminals think that they can get away with it. And Jasmine Crockett and people who represent her ideology have gotten away with destroying South Dallas. Look at this once thriving business, this once thriving area, and this is every single business that we see in the district. It's all a bombed out ruin of itself. It's a total collapsed society. What happened here? Well, it's pretty obvious. The progressive politics of Jasmine Crockett, single party rule, that has decided to vote against commerce, against the free market, and against safety for the people here. It's pretty sad that kids have to grow up like this. We're hoping for better. We're hoping the kids in Jasmine's district get to grow up like her.
It doesn't even look like America. The sad part, this is 2025 in South You know, there's billionaires in Dallas. There's billionaires in Dallas, but that doesn't even look like an American city. It doesn't even look like it looks like a bombed out third world country. Jasmine Crockett currently represents the most ghettoized area. She's not even from South Dallas. She grew up in, I don't know how you come to be a politician for an area which you did not grow and live. Why? A couple questions that we should have today. Why is Jasmine Crockett even a representative in Texas if she was born and raised and educated in St. Louis and she went to college in Tennessee? How did she find her way to Texas? And how did she find her way into politics in Texas? That's number one. Why didn't she run for office in St. Louis, her alma mater, or in Tennessee, where she acquired her Rhodes Scholarship? Instead, she got her law degree in Houston and stayed in Texas, and she ran for office in Texas. Why is she in Texas? And then how did she end up in Dallas? Right? She went to college in Houston. She acquired her law degree from Houston. How did she end up in Dallas? And how did she get a residency in Texas to become a politician and represent the people of an area in which she never lived? Typically, if you're going to represent a district, you have to live in that district. You have to live in the 33rd district of South Dallas. Now, it is not plausible, now that we know $1 million was spent on her education, that she would live in this bombed out, impoverished area. There are billion-dollar areas of Dallas. South Dallas is not one of them. So how did Jasmine Crockett come to be a representative in South Dallas, and how did she do such a piss poor job as a representative in South Dallas? These are the questions that we're talking about this morning. We just exposing Jasmine Crockett.
Someday, right? Texas has one of the most booming economies in the entire country. It has a bigger GDP than most countries on earth. Yet in Jasmine Crockett's district, you can find homeless encampments right here behind us. A sad story about how this district's managed. So we're gonna go now because the homeless guy just came tearing off after us in here. Dangerous district.
And here's what stores and shopping centers look like in St. Louis. Get the point? Jasmine built her political career on the idea that she came from the struggle. In reality, she's using those who are struggling for power and treating.
Did you hear that? She built her career on the idea that she came from the struggle. Let's go back to the video where she says it. She built her career on the idea that she came from the struggle, right? She talks about it in nauseum, right? We have to listen to her shit all the time about Black women, how hard it is for Black women. Now, put in context what you're about to hear with what I just played for you, right? You're about to hear her whine about Black women, knowing that she's a multi-millionaire with $1 million education, lived a millionaire lifestyle, not a regular rich person, but a multi-millionaire. Now listen and remember what I just educated you on.
So expensive right now that it costs so much to be in this game. Most people that look like me, especially Black women, we are the most underfunded candidates in the country, whether it's a city race, county race, state race, or federal race. We never get the money that our counterparts get. And so, Black women do what Black women do, which is we always stretch a dollar and we can make it go places that other people can't necessarily make it go.
Now, remember what I just taught you now. Remember what I just taught you now. Remember what I just taught you now. I said she's an actor, it's a character, it's an insult. She said Black women could stretch a dollar. What do you mean Black women could stretch a dollar? You a multi-millionaire. You grew up in $1 million education. Your Black mama didn't have to stretch a dollar. Who Black mama had to stretch a dollar, Jasmine Crockett? This is the insult. Double tap at the like button. Double tap at the like button. Share this show with a like-minded individual right now. Double tap at the like button. Jasmine Crockett full of shit. Jasmine Crockett full of shit. We're going to play it again. I'm going to play it again. What Black woman, did you hear? She said this was an innate quality. Like poverty is unique to Black women and Black struggle. Did you hear what she said? This is your Democrat leader. This is your queen. She just equated poverty to Black femininity. And I didn't make her do it. I didn't make her do it despite her being a millionaire. Let's listen.
that it costs so much to be in this game. Most people that look like me, especially Black women, we are the most underfunded candidates in the country, whether it's a city race, county race, state race, or federal race. We never get the money that our counterparts get. And so, you know, Black women do what Black women do, which is we always stretch a dollar and we can make it go places that other people can't necessarily make it go. These poor souls that believe these crazies are doing something for them, they're giving their last 2 cents and donating to them, and they're able to build up their coffers and insulate themselves, unlike most people that look like me. Rap it hard. Politics is so expensive right now that it costs.
Now, as we listen, we're going to watch it one more time. I'm going to cut the sound off. And what we're going to do is we're going to pay attention, because this post is a contradiction, right? It's her talking about spending and being poor, right? And stretching the dollar. But at the same time as she lies about spending, it lists her spending spree. Okay, look right here, ladies and gentlemen of the audience. We're going to focus here, and we're going to look at how much money she is spending, right? And where the money is. Look at this: 75,000 total, 4,000 at the 47,000, 2,000 luxury collection, 5,000 West Hollywood, 1,000 time, 2,000 Cosmopolitan, 2,700 Edward Inn, 3,000 at the Coco, 2,700 transportation for a limo, 2,300 DCA car for LLC, 1,200 Bay Area limousine, 50,000, 2,000 luxury. Do you see the cost, the expenditures to keep up this weave, to keep up this act, to keep up this?
And they're able to build up their coffers and insulate themselves, unlike most people that look like me. Rap it hard. Politics is so expensive.
Most people that look like me. Jasmine Crockett, what do you mean, Jasmine Crockett? What do you mean, most people that look like me? Did you hear that? Most people that look like me. I don't understand what she's talking about. Most people that look like me. I love doing my job. We having a good time today exposing Jasmine Crockett. I'm not done. Jasmine Crockett want to run for Senate. I'm going to play the video. I just had to give you context, baby. I had to give you context. When you hear the Black girl, when you see the weave, when you see the mink eyelashes, I need to give you context as to what you see. You're watching a Rhodes Scholar. It may not appear that she's a Rhodes Scholar, but you're watching a Rhodes Scholar. It may not appear that you're watching a Rhodes Scholar. It may not appear that you're watching a multimillionaire, but you're watching a multimillionaire educated Rhodes Scholar who is claiming to be this poor Miss Black girl, right? And she's claiming to comport herself like this ghetto Black girl who knows how to stretch a dollar. Did you hear her saying, Black women, all Black women do what we know how to do, which is stretch a dollar? That was an insult to you, Black women, huh? Girl Friday on Tuesday says she's my representative in my district, needs money, and I'm very grateful that she brought money to our sewer system.
To hear some good news, and some of y'all already heard it before you even got here. Yes, it is true. I am running to become your next United States Senator from the state of Texas.
Is it me, or is it more makeup today? Is it me, or is it more? So this is what I don't like this. So now you not Congresswoman, as a senator, I got to see more fake hair. This is the character. This is the insult. How many people are noticing that there's an intensified more makeup, more fake hair, like just black girl it up, right? Let's take a look. And I think it's disgusting. This is an actual caricature, and it's an insult. Look at how much she doesn't look like this. I just played a video where she did not look like this.
There's a responsibility that lies with all of us, especially in this moment. There are a lot of people that said, you got to stay in the house. We need our voice. We need you there. And I understand. But what we need is for me to have a bigger voice. What we need is not only a voice, but we need to make sure that we are going to stop all the hell that is raining down on all of our people.
All the hell raining down our people with your $1 million ass. What hell? What hell does she describe? Work with me, baby. I'm fighting for my life out here. Work with me, baby. What hell is Jasmine Crockett describing? What hell did she go through with her $1 million educated ass? Jasmine Crockett don't know nothing about hell. Jasmine Crockett don't know nothing about poverty. And Jasmine Crockett has been running a grift on you guys. This is the queen of fake outrage. Jasmine Crockett in a private jet. This woman will scream, I'm a black woman. It's so hard for people who look like me, while sipping on champagne at 40,000 feet in the air, all on the taxpayer dime. I just read you a list. $47,000 on hotels. Did you see how much she spent on limousines and black car services? I just told you that she went to a private school, Rose College. The only struggle that she knows, think about it, she talking about the black people and the black struggle. The only struggle that Jasmine Crockett knows is choosing between Dom Perignon and Chris Style. The mask didn't slip. It got launched out the emergency exit over the Atlantic. Come on now, Jasmine Crockett, what you talking about? Trump political interview. Jasmine Crockett running for Senate. Now let's go to Trump. We're going to go to Trump political interview. But before we go to Trump political interview, that ain't how you talk. Get your bitch ass up out of here. You don't put no paragraphs in my chat. We ain't doing no paragraphs in my chat. Get your bitch ass up out of here. Huh? Representative Il Omar, Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm the one who broke the story about the Somalians in the $1 billion fraud scheme. The alleged Somali mafia. The Somali mafia. You keep hearing about ICE. You keep hearing about Trump and ICE going to different cities, but you're not hearing the details about why we're going to the cities. So I am the one following ICE. I am the ICE hound with the ICE get down. If you want the updates on ICE, I got it for you. I got all the updates on ICE. And yesterday I told you why we were in Minnesota. Why we are in Minnesota, because the largest fraud in American history. It's not just the largest fraud in Minnesota. It's the largest fraud in American history. The largest, think about this with the mafia, everything included. This has been the largest fraud scheme in American history. Over $1 billion stolen from autistic children during COVID from the Somalian immigrants, while under the watch of Ilhan Omar, member of the squad, and former vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. Now, yesterday I exposed that Omar had connections to several convicted felons who stole millions of dollars from children. I said one of the people convicted of fraud for over $5 million gave her a party at his Safari Club restaurant. I said Omar had her victory party. Look it up. Omar, representative of the squad, had her victory party at the Safari Club restaurant in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The owner of the Safari Club just got convicted of $5 million fraud, right? COVID fraud. Now, another friend of hers who actually worked for her as a staffer on her campaign, as one of the head staffers on her campaign, his job was to get out the Somali vote. He just got convicted of $3 million of fraud. These are very close acquaintances, Omar. Can you explain? I got more. I just want to share with you what we're talking about right now. We're shifting gears. We're talking about ICE, Chattahoochee Crunch. We're talking about Minneapolis, Minnesota, where we had over 5,000 deportees arrested in 1 week, $1 billion fraud scheme. We got 79 people being indicted for RICOs, and we have connections to the squad. Ilhan Omar was friends with several individuals who have been found guilty of the biggest fraud scheme in American history. Over $1 billion that they stole from kids. Let's get into the details. Now, I have some more details to give you an update. Now come to find out, she's saying she don't have no ties. I don't know nobody, but I exposed the fact that she knows these gentlemen who got found guilty of stealing millions of dollars. Now I got more news about Omar. The squad is coming apart. Jasmine Crockett just lost her seat. AOC is going to primary Chuck Schumer, and then Omar going to get kicked out of Congress after this $1 billion debacle in Minnesota. I don't see how she wins, because it ain't going to be no more Somalians there to vote for her. Let's get into it. Now check out the new news that I just got today, and I love doing my job. I know the Democrats hate me because they don't have nobody on their side doing what I do for the Republicans, educating people blue and red on the facts so that they can make a new decision and not be deluded by the Republican or the Democrat. Listen to this. The Representative Ilhan Omar's net worth rose sharply from spousal businesses. Did you hear what I said? So while they stole $1 billion she became richer, just like Nancy Pelosi, just like Maxine Waters, just like Shifty Schiff, just like loser Latia James, just like Cunning Comey. The Democrats don't do nothing but enrich themselves, just like $1 Million Jasmine Crockett. Yasmine, the increased ties mostly to her husband. Listen to this. The increased ties mostly to her husband, 10 minutes stake in St. Croix LLC, a California winery valued at $1 million to $5 million, and Rose Lake Capital LLC, a DC venture capital firm worth $5 million to $25 million. Omar explained these reflect full business evaluations where Minute holds partial shares with her congressional salary covering family costs amid student loans and credit card debt. Did you hear what that said? Did you hear what that said? That they live off her congressional salary, because IRS can confirm that. So despite the fact that this family lives off the representative's congressional salary, the husband somehow got 20s of millions of dollars, right? In multiple firms, but it don't sound like he got a job. It sounds like everybody is living off of Omar, but the husband has 20s of millions of dollars. Can we get into this? With her congressional salary covering family costs amid student loans and credit card debt. So they have student loans and credit card debt despite the husband having 20s of millions of dollars. Fact checkers note that the figures blend household totals and partnerships, while her office calls scrutiny a white ring smear among broader concerns over lawmakers' finances. The question they can't silence: when a sitting member of Congress goes from $65,000 to $30 million, that's what I'm talking about. And she was the one in charge of $1 billion fraud. $1 billion fraud. She went from $65,000 being in debt to worth over $30 million in just a few years, because the squad is a brand new phenomenon, right? This is not good investment. This is not luck. This is not coincidence. This is power converted into wealth, right? Rob Finity is simply doing what the media refuses to do, following the money. America deserves to know. How does someone go from a modest means to sudden mega wealth while in office without transparent source of legitimate income? Who benefited? Who paid? Who decisions were influenced, and why is no one, no regulator, no watchdog, no ethics committee demanding an answer? Now remember, she's friends with Jasmine Crockett. Maybe Jasmine Crockett helped her get the millions, because Jasmine Crockett is a millionaire. AOC at the Met Gala. This is not scrutiny, it's accountability. If any ordinary American subtly multiplied their net worth 46,000%, the IRS, the DOJ, and every federal agency would be at their door tomorrow. When it's a member of Congress, Washington yawns. Finity is right to ask, the public to ask, and until questions are answered, the suspicion is going to remain. Now, keep in mind that she was at the helm of a $1 billion Somali mafia, and I just reported, she was close friends with several individuals who was arrested from the Somali mafia.
So we'll ask again, where did Ilhan Omar get all that darn money from? Let's go through it. When she first ran for Congress in 2018, she was married to a Somalian man named Ahmed Nursaid Elmi, and she had a net worth of approximately $65,000. Not a ton of money, but $65,000. By 2020, a whole 2 years later, Ilhan had already divorced and remarried another Somalian man by the name of Ahmed Aladizian Herzi, and her net worth was still right around $65,000. Yet just 4 years later, she was divorced and remarried again for a third, or perhaps a fourth time. We don't know for sure, because Ilhan Omar likely married her brother at one point to get him into this country illegally when she came here from Somalia, which, by the way, is a federal crime, and she's serving in Congress. And nobody talks about this. So by 2024, Ilhan's married to a new person, a white guy named Tim. There's Tim Minette. And Tim is not a rich man, but now he is. Tim's rich now because somehow over the course of the last 3 years, Ilhan Omar's net worth has skyrocketed to over $30 million and counting, meaning she went from having right around $65,000 to $30 million in 3 years. Think about that. Powerball drawing is tonight. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Ilhan Omar did not win the lottery. Bernie Madoff was cheating, and he still wasn't doing that well. That is a 46,000% increase in less than 3 years. Now, how do you suppose that happened? Do you really expect us all to believe that she just played the stock market like she's got a great investor and they just got kind of lucky over the course of the Biden presidency? And why are we the only ones asking these questions tonight? So once again, where did Ilhan Omar get all that money, and why is she trying to make Americans feel bad for Somalian criminals?
One more time.
So we'll ask again, where did Ilhan Omar get all that darn money from? Let's go through it. When she first ran for Congress in 2018, she was married to a Somalian man named Ahmed Nurshad Elmi. And she...
Marriage number one. Everybody in the chat, marriage number one. We're going to go through 3 marriages, not including her marriage to her brother. This is your queen. This is your Democratic queen. Marriage number one.
Had a net worth of approximately $65,000. Not a ton of money, but $65,000. By 2020, a whole 2 years later, Ilhan had already divorced and remarried another Somalian man by the name of Ahmed Aladizian Herzi.
Marriage number two. Marriage number two within a matter of years. Not 10 years, not 5 years. Marriage number two, still $65,000.
And her net worth was still right around $65,000. Yet just 4 years later, she was divorced and remarried again for a third, or perhaps a fourth time. We don't know for sure because Ilhan Omar likely married her brother at one point to get him into this country.
Trump apologized for marrying her brother. So 4 marriages, with the fourth one being to a white man with no job. Her fourth marriage was to a white man, a broke white man with no job. He brought no wealth. He brought no wealth to the marriage.
Illegally when she came here from Somalia, which, by the way, is a federal crime, and she's serving in Congress. And nobody talks about this. So by 2024, Ilhan's married to a new person, a white guy named Tim. There's Tim Minette. And Tim is not a rich man, but now he is. Tim's rich now because somehow over the course of the last 3 years, Ilhan Omar's net worth has skyrocketed to over $30 million and counting, meaning she went from having right around $65,000 to $30 million in 3 years. Think about that. Powerball drawing is tonight. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Ilhan Omar did not win the lottery. Bernie Madoff was cheating, and he still wasn't doing that well. That is a 46,000% increase in less than 3 years. Now, how do you suppose that happened? Do you really expect us all to believe that she just played the stock market like she's got a great investor and they just got kind of lucky over the course of the Biden presidency? And why are we the only ones asking these questions tonight? So once again, where did Ilhan Omar get all that money, and why is she trying to make Americans feel bad for Somalian criminals?
So I just want to give you context. Now, remember, as we talk about this, we're not talking about this in a vacuum. I'm bringing this up because Omar represents the district in where the $1 billion was stolen. Over $1 billion was stolen over COVID, just 2 years, just a year ago. Donald Trump's only been in office for 10 months. Why is this important? Why is this important? Because she is the representative over the Somali community that stole $1 billion, the largest fraud scheme ever in American history. And she is telling us that she knows nothing about it. She did not benefit from the fraud scheme, but she went from $65,000 to $30 million at the same time that these Somalians were stealing billions. Where she had her victory dinner was at the Safari Club. The owner of the Safari Club that threw Omar her victory celebration is now in prison for stealing $5 million in COVID funds. Her former campaign manager, someone who worked for her on her staff, just got convicted for stealing $3 million. Now that I've given you the complete context that several of her close constituents have been convicted for stealing millions of dollars in COVID funds, how do you feel understanding now that she went from 65,000 to 30 million in 3 years, a 46 1,000% increase. Now, keep in context Nancy Pelosi. Remember, I gave you the game. Nancy Pelosi, when she started as a congresswoman, was worth $1 million. That included her house in San Francisco, where real estate is expensive. Nancy Pelosi is retiring in January, worth $400 million. 400. Nancy Pelosi is going to retire worth it's her husband again. Remember, just like with Omar, it's her husband. Her husband has these investments. Nancy Pelosi, oh, my husband plays the stock market. For $400 million, I got stocks, Nancy. I ain't made no $400 million damn dollars. Nancy Pelosi's going to retire. And you want to say no kings protest. No kings. How about no queens? How about no queens? How about Maxine Waters being broke when she came into Congresswoman? Maxine Waters, just like Omar, is worth $20 million. Where did Maxine Waters get 20 million? A public servant worth 400 million. Nancy Pelosi. Let's have a little fun. I'm just doing a little tangent. We're gonna get back to Trump political, but Nancy Pelosi, net worth now and when she became in office, just to do a little, just so lay a foundation for what Omar is doing. Omar came up under Nancy Pelosi. Do you understand what we're talking about? We're talking about $65,000 being turned into $30 million at the same time her constituents stole $1 billion. That's a hell of a coincidence. That's a hell of a coincidence. Nancy Pelosi is a longtime congresswoman from California. She's been serving since 1987. That's number one reason why she should retire. These damn baby boomers, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, all these motherfuckers who's been in office for 30 years. Do you know Joe Biden was in the Senate for 40 years before he became vice president? In total, Joe Biden was in politics and very high in political power for over 40 years, you guys. Joe Biden spent that much time in politics. He helped the Clintons with the crime bill in 1993, 20 years after that. Do you know how much time that is? 1993 to 2008, 20 years after he helped the Clintons with the crime bill, he became vice president for 8 years. Then he spent 12 years in the White House after spending over 30 years in the Senate. This is just the reality of the royalty of the Democratic Party. When you wonder about how they amass all this wealth and power, they've been there for a long fucking time. Nancy Pelosi been in office since 1987. You know what else is something to note about 1987 and Jasmine Crockett running for Senate? The last time Texas elected a Democrat to the Senate was in 1988, over 37 years ago. Jasmine Crockett has no chance in hell of winning the Senate race in Texas. Texas is not sending a member of the squad to the Senate as a Democrat. I'm going to say it again. Texas citizens are not sending a member of the squad to the Senate. They are not going to do it. I just remember you heard that here first. Nancy Pelosi been in office since 1987. She became the first female Speaker of the House in January 2007. And I'm about to break down her estimated net worth based on public financial disclosures tracking by outlets, okay? Pelosi's net worth is estimated at $278 to $281 million, driven largely by a tech stock investment, Nvidia, Apple, and Google, real estate and Napa Valley Winery and San Francisco properties worth $45 million. She has properties in San Francisco worth $45 million, which she did not have when she became in office. Her husband, venture capital firm Marks, 54% surge. Did you hear this? Her husband's venture capital firm made a 54% surge since 2024, right? $250 to $370 million range, outpacing S&P 500 by 25%. Her husband makes more money than the S&P 500. He must know magic. He must know some secrets about the stock market, because not only is he right 100% of the time, he's right in a way that makes him hundreds of millions of dollars. I think we should investigate. Her congressional salary is $174,000 a year that they did not give up during the shutdown. She contributes, right? But what was her net worth when she came into office in 1987? So remember what I just told you. Her husband and her are worth $400 million. But when she came into office in 1987, she was worth, her family, now they don't give you the real worth, but her family was approximately worth $3 million. But the true value was around $1.3 million. Nancy Pelosi, when she took office, was worth $1.3 million, and that includes a $1 million home in San Francisco. So she wasn't liquid $1 million. Her house is what got her to $1 million when she became a congresswoman in 1987. When she retires in January 2026, her and her husband will run away from the Congress with $400 million. That should be illegal. That should be illegal. And so today, what I'm talking about is Omar is leaving with $30 million after Somalians steal $1 billion in fraud. Did you know why we're in Minneapolis? Did you know why we're in Minneapolis? Does anybody know why we're in Minneapolis? We're in Minneapolis because it's responsible for the largest fraud in American history, and they stole money from the kids. They stole money from sick kids, $1 billion from sick kids, and she wants to tell us that she didn't benefit. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Do you believe it? Now, remember when we talked about Jasmine Crockett? Now, Jasmine Crockett, I just want to show another video. It's not just me who is waking up to Jasmine Crockett's BS. Let me play some video. Let's listen to this video. Other people are waking up to Jasmine Crockett's BS.
You know, more and more every day, I'm starting to have a real disdain for Jasmine Crockett. She is such an insult to all educated Black women in America. She perpetuates the stereotype of a ghetto Black hood woman, something she is not. Let me tell you something. Jasmine Crockett went to private school, which ultimately means that her parents, her two-parent household, took the time to invest into her education, which ultimately means by geographical fact that your private school was probably somewhere in the suburbs, which 9 times out of 10, I'm pretty sure she didn't even grow up in the hood. And as a matter of fact, she went to one of the best day schools in St. Louis, actually out of the entire country. Jasmine Crockett has had more privilege than any Black American that I can ever think of. She legit grew up in the suburbs, mansions. Her tuition alone, per semester or whatever, cost well over $30,000. So why the act? It's a literal case of code switching. Now, I get it. You know, I do a little bit of code switching myself, but see, it's a time and a place for everything. See, all that popping of the neck and batting them long eyelashes, I don't know what this rhetoric that she's trying to perpetuate. I don't know who she's trying to give it to. Being all loud and country, like, are you trying to, I don't know if you're trying to relate to like your constituents, your Black constituents there. I don't know what this is all about, but it's a complete disgrace for you to sit up here and perpetuate and make yourself seem lower class by acting and talking the way that you do, because you wasn't brought up to be that way. Your parents invested in you, and this is the way that you return the favor by acting ghetto. See, Jasmine Crockett is the reason why Black people that live in the hood, such as me, have a hard time, you know, it being accepted that the fact that I'm a real educated Black person that live in the hood, because I'm expected to talk ghetto. And here she is, choosing to cosplay. See, that's why Jasmine Crockett is relatable to the nigga population. Niggas love Jasmine Crockett. Why? Because she's relatable. She's also a Democrat. And what is the makeup of the Democratic Party? A whole lot of niggatry. She's trying to relate to her audience. Meanwhile, I see through all of it. So while she's trying to blame Trump for everything, calling him a thug and etc., her district actually sucks. That's where the focus needs to be on.
Keep it 100, man. Keep it 100, man. We keep it 100 today, man. Y'all like that El Omar story, huh? Y'all like that El Omar? I like that El Omar story too, man. I wish I was here yesterday, man, when I went over to Somalia and stealing $1 billion, man. Somalia and stealing $1 billion, man. I wish I was here to hear about that, man. Trump supporters grow impatient with AG Pam Bondi after 10 months. Supporters recirculate Trump's message, voicing frustration over the lack of high-profile arrests against perceived adversaries, despite Bondi's DOJ securing wins like the pipe bomb, suspect arrests, and Antifa probes. Critics tally zero politician prosecutions since inauguration and demand her replacement, while others defend her pace amid 600 lawsuits and judicial dismissals of key cases. The divide highlights tensions between calls for swift accountability and trust in Trump's timing as midterms approach. We shifting gears to Pam Bondi, everybody. Pam Bondi. What else I got is a little, before we get to Pam, I got Trump in Europe. Trump supporters growing patient with Pam Bondi. I got that. What else we got? Y'all, we gonna go to Europe. We're going to go to Europe. We're going to go to Europe. Okay, let's get this Europe. Trump calls European leaders weak on immigration and Ukraine. Oh, this is the Politico. So let's do Politico before we go to Pam Bondi. My bad. We're going to do the Trump Politico interview before we go to Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi going to be last. Double tap, hit the like button. We're going to go to the Trump Politico interview. And I know y'all like that Il Omar, man. I know y'all like that Il Omar. I know y'all like that breakdown of Nancy Pelosi, man. Ain't nobody told you this shit about Nancy Pelosi, man. And somebody put in the chat, Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, loser Latia James. Latia James need to be prosecuted, Pam Bondi. Latia James falsified her mortgage application. It's kind of messed up what the Democrats do. Just like Omar, right? And mystically, just like Nancy Pelosi, magically getting this money. Letitia James has multiple mortgages, right? Multiple houses because she's a millionaire, Democrat millionaire elite. I'm talking about Southern District of New York, SDNY. You should know these names by now. When Donald Trump is calling out, I'm going to read Donald Trump Truth Social. He's going to call out Letitia James. Shout out to the educated people in my chat who knew about the Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff. He's going to call out loser Letitia James. He's going to call out Shifty Schiff. He's going to call out Cunning Comey. You got to know Cunning Comey was the FBI director. You got to know Letitia is the head of the SDNY and the architect behind the 36 felony prosecution against Donald Trump. I said Letitia James, SDNY, Southern District of New York, is the architect behind a misdemeanor being transformed into a 36 felony case against Donald Trump to stop him from becoming president. So when he talks about Pam Bondi going after Letitia James, you got to know who he's talking about. You got to know who he's talking about. You got to know who he's talking about. You got to know who Letitia James is. You know, listen what she did. Just like you got to know who Fani Willis is and what Fani Willis did. Fani Willis, who was invited to the White House by Kamala Harris, who had the weak RICO charges against Donald Trump in the Fulton County, Georgia. But Fani Willis got thrown out the case because she was fucking co-counsel. Fani Willis got thrown off the case because she was fucking a married man. Wait a minute. She was fucking a married man. She was fucking co-counsel, but then she hired. Hey, wait a minute. Fani Willis hired the married man she was fucking and paid him $1 million and made him co-counsel in the Trump RICO case, despite him never prosecuting a RICO case ever in his life. So she's fucking a married man. She's paying a married man while she's fucking him, and then she hires him to do Trump. Then she get kicked off the case. Then you can't make this shit up. Fani Willis fucking a married man and then pays him, and then Letitia James marries her daddy. Omar marries her brother. I'm not making this shit up. Omar marries her brother. Omar marries her brother so he can become a citizen illegally. She's a congresswoman. She married her brother. Letitia James married her father to get a lower mortgage rate. I'm not making this shit up. Letitia James married her father to get a lower mortgage rate, and Fani Willis fucked co-counsel who happened to be a married man. This is not for conjecture. This is not your regular podcast. We kick ass. This is not your regular podcast. I'm sorry if you were looking for a regular podcast. That is not what this is. That Trump political interview. Trump gave 45 minutes and ended an entire continent. Here goes some direct quotes from the interview. London and Paris don't even look like London and Paris anymore. They let anybody in. It's a disaster. Hungary won't let anybody in. That's smart. Sadiq Khan is disgusting. Bro called Europe a third world continent wearing designer clothes, and the entire EU needs therapy. Macron woke up, saw the clip, and started crying in his $800 croissant. Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, Trump don't like France. Fuck Macron. Fuck France. Macron and France is fucking up the peace in the Ukraine with that bullshit. Macron, you send soldiers and billions of dollars to, you know how much billions we sent to Ukraine, and you gonna stick your nose in it? Let's get to some clips from this. From this Trump political interview. Let's get to some clips from this Trump political interview. Trump told Politico's Dasha Burns that political correctness has left Europe unsure how to handle migration from the Middle East and Africa. He criticized London Mayor Sadiq Khan as a disaster elected by new voters and warned some nations risk losing viability without stronger borders. On Ukraine, he called for elections despite the war. Get Zelensky ass up out of there. Zelensky's in the way. He's a comedian and a TV actor with no experience in politics or conflict. On Ukraine, Trump called for elections despite the war, noted Russia's advantage in peace talks, and dismissed NATO membership as unrealistic. That's all Putin wanted. We wouldn't be in war right now if it wasn't for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Is she black? I don't know if she's black. Well, the borders are. Kamala Harris wasn't worried about the Mexican-American border. Her dumb ass was on the Ukraine-Russian border at the Munich Security Council talking about NATO proliferation. Kamala Harris said, and I read the speech, that Ukraine deserves and has a right to join NATO. She pushed that shit for 6 months until Putin finally said, fuck you, Kamala. Fuck you, Kamala. Fuck you, Kamala. I told you Ukraine cannot be a fucking NATO country, and the Ukraine can never become fucking nuclear. Fuck you, and no one paid attention. The comments drew praise from supporters and pushback from critics and European officials. Let's go into our first clip from Trump in the political interview. In this clip right here, this is with Dasha Burns. Trump says it's possible the U.S. may not consider most European nation allies. This is why we push back on NATO. When Trump first took office, he took us out of the Paris Climate Accords. Do y'all remember the first Trump administration? He took us out of the Paris Climate Accords, and then fucking Biden, when you guys let Biden get fucking in office, what did Biden do? Fuck up everything, put us right back in the Paris Climate Accords, put us right into a fucking war with Russia by a proxy war with Ukraine. No one paid attention. As soon as Trump came back into office, shout out to Deborah Carr, 100%. As soon as Trump came into office, he took us back out of the Paris Climate Accord, and he made NATO pay its fair share. Trump told NATO, double tap, I'm going to ask everybody right now who's watching, if you're learning, if you're benefiting anything, I ask you to do me a favor, double tap the screen, hit the like button. It does so much for a YouTuber, content creator. Thank you, everybody watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you, everyone who's subscribing. I need everybody right now. If you're learning and benefiting, double tap and hit the like button. We're going to go into clips from Trump political interview. Right now, I'm laying a foundation, giving a little background on geopolitics as we go into Trump talking about European nations and the NATO ramifications from the Biden administration under the tutelage of Kamala Harris, and how Kamala Harris actually poked and prodded the bear. I mean, literally, Kamala Harris poked and prodded the bear. That's how we got into a conflict in the Ukraine. Let's get into the let's get into this, man. Let's get into this, man. And double tap, hit the like button, everybody watching, man. I thank you and appreciate it, man. I thank you and appreciate it, man. You're watching the Most Based podcast on YouTube.
He's really gotten right as the immigration, because he allows nobody in his country. And Poland has done a very good job in that respect, too. But most European nations, they're decaying. They're decaying.
You can imagine some leaders in Europe are a little freaked out by what your posture is, and European.
No, they should be freaked out by what they're doing to their countries. They're destroying their countries.
Well, European Council
and
President.
they're people I like. Look, they're people I like. I get along with them. You know that. But they can't let this happen. And it gets to a point where you can't really correct it. There'll be a point, and it's very close to that point.
And what will that mean?
It will mean that they're no longer going to be strong nations.
Does that mean they won't be allies
Or
anymore?
they'll be, well, it depends, it depends. They'll change their ideology, obviously, because the people coming in have a totally different ideology. But it's going to make them much weaker. They'll be much weaker, and they'll be much different.
And what will that mean for our relationship
look at
with
your mayor
them?
of London. He's a disaster. He's a disaster. He's got a totally different ideology of what he's supposed to have. And he gets elected because so many people have come in and they vote for him now because, it's like, it's one of those things. But I hate what's happened to London, and I hate what's happened to Paris. I hate when I see it.
Sir, it's sometimes hard to tell when you say these things. Do you intend to send kind of a message of tough love to our allies to push them to make reforms? Or do you think that many of them are just weak and you don't really want to be allies with them?
I think they're weak, but I also think that they want to be so politically correct. I think they don't know what to do. Europe doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do on trade either. I mean, I look at a lot of the trade, situation that's going on over there. It's a little bit dangerous, but Europe, they want to be politically correct, and it makes them weak. That's what makes them weak.
It sounds like you want to see some pretty massive changes.
Well, I think they should get the people out that came into the country illegally.
I want to ask about NATO.
If you take a look at Sweden. So Sweden was known as the safest country in Europe, one of the safest countries in the world. Now it's known as a very unsafe, pretty unsafe country. It's not even believable. It's a whole different country, Sweden.
You are watching the Perfect Timing Podcast, and right now we are reviewing the interview from President Donald Trump, and he is talking about immigration and the reflection. How many people truly understood Brexit? How many people, when I talk about Candace Owens, I love Candace Owens, I love Charlie Kirk, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk meant a lot to me. I believe Charlie Kirk did a lot of great work for Black conservatives. I think it was the opposite. A lot of Black Democrats wanted to say Charlie Kirk didn't like Blacks. I think Charlie Kirk loved all Americans. I think when you love God, when you love Jesus, you love all Americans, you love all humans. But Charlie Kirk did a lot with Candace Owens in creating Brexit and educating Black Americans on why you should not vote Democrat. That's what Brexit was all about. Like the minimum wage being $7 an hour for over 20 years, just your basic quality of life. Do you know if the Democrats gave a fuck about Black America, they could have raised the minimum wage over 15 years ago. When Barack Obama came into office, minimum wage was $7 an hour, and they never fucking did it. They never fucking did it. They never touched it, but you believe he's a Black president and he cares about you. Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. But the minimum wage never moved, Biden. The minimum wage never fucking moved, bro. It's just sick. So today we're talking about political, and we're talking about Trump, and we're talking about Brexit. And if I don't know how many people, because the Democrats have been in power for 12 years. So when Brexit came about, they were able via the social media. And remember, I talked to you how powerful media is. When Brexit first came about, Brexit is Britain. Brexit is different from Blexit, but Blexit is based on the principles of Brexit, right? And this is when the British people wanted to leave the EU because they were being overran by African Islamic immigrants, right? They opened up the country because they needed, just like America. Listen to this story. It's a similar story, and it destroyed their country. Think about the Somalians in Minneapolis stealing $1 billion. These are Somalian immigrants. They're not citizens, and they stole $1 billion. They're changing the face of America. You have white men in Minnesota speaking Somalese. So keep that over here, right? Now think about what happened in Britain. They opened up the country. They said they needed the immigrants to come in to do the jobs that the British wouldn't do. This is what they say in America. Oh, Biden, open the border. Americans won't do the bullshit. Open the border. Americans won't do the job. That's what they told us, right? And then look at what's happening. You got Trende Agua, you got cartels running rampant, you got Sikh individuals with CDLs who can't read and write English and killing people on the freeway. So in Britain, they opened up in EUs, like you said, in Switzerland. I talked yesterday about Austria. They open up immigration because they say, oh, the white people don't want to do these jobs. Great, bring in the immigrants. They can work and have a better life, right? But this is the thing. They bring in these Muslim extremists who bring in their Muslim ideology into a country. Sweden used to be the most safest country. What did the video I played for you yesterday? It was a white woman who got in trouble, who got fired for saying the N-word to sue a Somalian, but they didn't give you the context. What happens now when you have these Muslim extremists come into these culturally different areas? The Somalians in Minneapolis pick on white women for their dress. Like Sharia law. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that in these European countries, the Muslims who have moved there pick on white women? White women don't feel comfortable going to the bus. I played a video last year of a white woman being accosted at a bus stop by African Islamic immigrants who was fucking with her about her dress code. I played to you Bill Maher yesterday. What Muslim country would you live in with that dress? You know what the scary part is you don't have to ask what Muslim country, because if you go to certain European countries, she can't wear that dress. Did you guys know that? I said if you go to certain European countries, she couldn't wear that dress because the Islamic immigrants who have immigrated into Austria, Sweden, Switzerland are bringing so prolific with their Muslim ideology. White people who are generationally Swiss, Austrian, don't feel safe being white, don't want to wear a dress above the leg, white women are being forced to cover their faces. In European, this is counterculture. This is counterculture. No one's talking about it. But let's go to the next clip. This clip is about Zelensky and the $350 billion that he took, and Zelensky Zelensky being voted out. We're watching Politico, Trump interview on Politico, and you're watching the Perfect Timing podcast.
He's a great salesman. I call him P.T. Barnum. You know who P.T. was, right?
I do.
One of the greatest on earth. He could sell any product at any time. That was his expression. I can sell any product at any time. It was true. He said, doesn't matter whether it works or not. But he's P.T. Barnum. You know, he got crooked Joe Biden to give him $350 billion. And look what it got. It got him about 25% of his country is missing. He's a great salesman. I call him P.T. Barnum.
This is what's been going on. We've been getting fleeced. We've been getting fleeced by the Democratic Party. And I love Trump. I voted for Trump because we're not giving no more money. No more money going to Zelensky. No more money going to Zelensky.
Esther, he's got a totally different ideology of what he's supposed to have.
Let's keep going. Let's see if we can get
An election, do you think?
Yeah.
I agree. This is Trump talking about Zelensky and him having an election, and I agree. He got to go. This is Trump political interview. And who is this gorgeous motherfucker right here? Dasha. Her name is Dasha Byrne. And don't bad bitches always have a name like that? Dasha. Bad bitches always got a name like that. Hey, Dasha. That's a bad motherfucker right there, boy. Hit the like, double tap at the like button.
Is it time for Ukraine to hold an election, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. It's been a long time. It hasn't been doing particularly well. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's an important time to hold an election. You know, they're using war not to hold an election, but I would think the Ukrainian people would, should have that choice, and maybe Zelensky would win. I don't know who would win, but they haven't had an election in a long time. You know, they talk about a democracy, but it gets to a point where it's not a democracy anymore.
Is it time for Ukraine to hold an election?
Now remember, let's do the math, everybody. Let's do the math. Now, Joe Biden and Barack Obama was in power when the Ukraine had their day of revolution. You guys remember, I've educated you on the Nazis, right? And part of the peace plan is that the Ukraine has to get rid of the Nazis. You guys remember the Azov Battalion, the neo-Nazi street gang of footballers who became legitimate army under the 2014 day of revolution, right? And that's when Zelensky came to power in 2014. Zelensky Zelensky, the Azov Battalion, the neo-Nazis all came into power. Joe Biden, Barack Obama, this bullshit world that we've been handed all started in 2014. So Zelensky has been in power since 2014. How many people knew that? How many people knew that Zelensky has been in power since 2014 and there is no election even scheduled? How long is that? That's over 10 years. He is not a king. I say it again, Zelensky is not a king. He is not a dictator. That is supposed to be a democratic government. They're supposed to have elections. But Zelensky has been there over a decade. And he does not want to have elections. But you guys talk about Trump being king. How many people understood that Zelensky has been president and in power since 2014 when he was installed by the Barack Obama and Biden government? Do you guys remember Burisma? Do you remember the phone call from Joe Biden about Burisma and them withholding $1 billion in aid if Hunter Biden didn't get money? Hunter Biden was on the board of the biggest energy firm in Ukraine without ever having any experience, getting paid $30,000 a month. Thank you, Joe Biden. During the 2014, during the Barack Obama presidency, guess who was the border czar? I'll give you one guess. During the Barack Obama presidency, guess who was the border czar? I'll give you one guess. Yeah, you guessed it. Joe Biden was the border czar for Ukraine. Joe Biden was the head of the U.S. policy in the Ukraine. Joe Biden led the ousting of the Putin favorite president. The previous president before 2014, he was friends with Putin. And we had no conflict, right? Joe Biden led the effort to get rid of the Putin favorite president and install Zelensky, who was previously a television comedian who played the president on TV. No political experience. No political experience. Zelensky was an actor, a comedian. And Joe Biden and the Barack Obama administration chose an actor, a comedian, as their proxy. Did you guys know any of this? Did you guys know any of this? I said Joe Biden and Barack Obama chose a comedian and a television star as their proxy in the Ukraine. That's how you get here. That's how you get here. You didn't know that, did you? Let's keep going. Politico interviewed Donald Trump on Politico with the most gorgeous Dasha Burns.
He's got a totally different.
With the most gorgeous Dasha
I have a
Burns.
mayor named Khan. He's a horrible mayor. He's an incompetent.
There we go. Now we're talking about the mayor in London. Now, remember, I broke down Brexit and why Brexit even came about. See, they never told you what happened with Brexit. They never explained that there were white women being harassed and accosted by Muslim immigrants. And it's happening not only in European countries like Austria and Sweden, it's happening in Minneapolis. The Somalians who have taken over Minneapolis now walk around in American City and harass American women and think they can impose Sharia law on American women. Let's listen. Let's listen.
If you take a look at London, you have a mayor named Khan. He's a horrible mayor. He's an incompetent.
Did y'all know, remember when Mondani, I call him Morani, got elected to New York? They had a police, she had a big old ass too. She had a big old ass. They had a Muslim police officer teaching people how to wear a hijab. Now, I don't think the New Yorkers were naive. I believe the New Yorkers, you were being naive. When that police officer was teaching women how to wear hijab, what she was saying is that culturally, you are going to deal with some changes in New York when you have a Muslim mayor and Muslim men feeling comfortable to live and be Muslim in New York. Muslim men, when they walk around in public, might start requiring women in New York to wear a hijab. I don't know why else the police would teach you how properly to wear and cover your face as a woman in America, because women in America don't have to cover their face. This is not a theocracy. We have religious freedom here. This is what we fought and died for. This is what they came over here, man. This is one of the best countries in the world. This is what the rights are about. Religious freedom, right? Freedom of speech, right? I don't have to cover my face. But a Muslim police officer in New York is teaching women how to cover their face properly. And I'm telling you, because they're trying to prepare you for a cultural shift. They're trying to prepare you for a cultural shift. They are trying to prepare you for a cultural shift. Pay attention.
Mayor, but he's a horrible, vicious, disgusting mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. London's a different place. I love London. I love London. And I hate to see it happen. You know, my roots are in Europe, as you know.
Right.
And I hate to see that happen. This is one of the great places in the world, and they're allowing people just to come in and unchecked, unvetted. So if you take a look at London, you have a mayor named Khan. He's a horrible mayor. He's an incompetent mayor, but he's a horrible, vicious, disgusting mayor. I think he's done a terrible job. London's a different place. I love London. I love London. And I hate to see it happen. You know, my roots are in Europe, as you know.
Right.
And I hate to see that happen. This is one of the great places in the world, and they're allowing people just to come in and unchecked, unvetted. So if you take a look at...
Now, what do? Huh? What do you do? Now do you understand Brexit a little bit better? Now do you understand these immigration policies a little bit better? Huh?
And Zelensky with various drafts of his peace deal.
Let's go back to Zelensky. Let's go. We're watching the political interview, highlights and clips. Donald Trump, fair use. We are reacting to the political interview given by Donald Trump. And I'm thanking you for watching and hitting the like button and subscribing. Thank you very much.
Your team has been going back and forth between Putin and Zelensky with various drafts of his peace deal. Which country right now is in the stronger negotiating position?
Well, there can be no question about it. It's Russia. It's a much bigger country. It's a war that should have never happened. Frankly, it wouldn't have happened if I were president, and it didn't happen for 4 years. I watched that taking place, and I said, wow, they're going to cause some problems here. And it started, and it could have evolved into World War III, frankly. I think it's probably not going to be happening now. I think if I weren't president, you could have had World War III. I think you would have had a much bigger problem than you have right now. But right now, it's a big problem. It's a big problem for Europe, and they're not handling it well.
Your team has been going back and forth between Putin and Zelensky with various drafts of his peace deal. Which country right now is in the stronger negotiating position?
Well, there can be no question about it. It's Russia.
There's no question about it. It's Russia.
It's a much bigger country. It's a war that should have never happened, frankly.
And this is why the peace deal is going to work. As soon as we get Zelensky out the way, because Russia needs to trade. Russia has been offered entrance into the G8. You heard about the Chevron deal. You heard about the money, and people are poo-pooing it because they said there's something wrong with the money. Let me play one of the Democrats who are hating on the Ukraine deal. I had a video of one of the Democrats who's hating on the Ukraine deal. And it just, you know what I was so proud about? I was proud about the chat. I was proud about the chat and how many people understood the BS that came in this message. All right. So this is the Democrat. This is a Democrat replying to Trump's peace plan, right? And it just shows how much the Democrats don't care about your well-being.
Right now, the most serious corruption of American foreign policy ever is being talked about inside the Trump administration. It's being described as a peace plan to end the Russian war in Ukraine. But if you look at the details, it has nothing to do with peace. It is a business deal to make the people around Donald Trump rich. It's just corruption through and through. Let me tell you the story. According to the Wall Street Journal, last month, Vladimir Putin sent the head of his sovereign wealth fund to negotiate an end to the Ukraine war with Steve Witkoff, who is one of Trump's billionaire buddies.
So number one, how many people knew this? I don't know why the Democrats love to spin, but this is why I say we are on the verge of peace. Number one thing to extrapolate from this video is that Putin sent someone to discuss peace first, not Trump. Putin sent his guy to discuss peace because Putin understands he wants peace, he has leverage, and he wants to trade with the globe again. So the first thing I want you to understand is that Putin initiated peace talks.
also one of his national security advisors. They met in Miami Beach. Jared Kushner was there too. Putin didn't send his foreign minister, and this is important. He sent his business deals guy, the guy who controls the billions of money that are produced by Russia's oil operations. Why do you do that? Because he knows that the way you get Trump's people to agree to sell out Ukraine is to offer up a deal to make Trump's billionaire friends even richer.
That's another thing I want to stop and point out too. Sell out Ukraine. This deal is not about selling out Ukraine. It's about America first. This is what MAGA, this is why the Democrats will never win. People are worried about the Democrats in 2026. I'm not worried about the Democrats in 2026. I don't give a fuck about selling out the Ukraine. Fuck the Ukraine. Fuck the Ukraine and fuck France. I voted for MAGA, America first. And this Democrat is trying to make me feel sorry. It's like the same thing with Vietnam and Iraq and all these other fucking places that you want Americans to feel sorry for so you can spend American taxpayer dollars and American blood to go there and kill people. No, fuck Ukraine, fuck Afghanistan, fuck Iraq. Let them handle their own shit. Handle your own candle. America first. Why do you want me to feel bad for Ukraine? Why do you want me to feel bad? I do not feel bad for Ukraine, Argentina, none of that shit. The Ukraine, France and the EU can handle their own shit. And if Russia wants to make a deal with America that's beneficial to American billionaires, he talking about American billionaires making money is a bad thing. American billionaires, Chevron making money is a bad thing. No, that helps America. That's American jobs. That benefits Americans at the motherfucking coffee table. So why is it a bad idea? And just going back to World War I, World War II, Vietnam, the Korean War, every fucking war, if you study anything about geopolitics, what happened after Europe was bombed to death in World War II? What happened after Russia was bombed to death? Germany was bombed to death. Well, we had to rebuild. We gave you, this is how America became number one. Before World War II, a lot of people speculate, allegedly, that America waited to enter World War II to when Europe was going to be absolutely decimated, and Europe and the rest of the globe would depend on America for manufacturing. You remember when America was number one? Let me tell you when America was number one. America was number one when America was the China. After World War II, America was the China because everybody else got bombed. We were the only ones with factories. We were the only ones making clothing, textiles, and electronics. So the whole globe got everything from America. We had cars, we had TVs, we had radio, we had clothing. We sold them globally. That's how America became the richest country in the world, because we manufactured everything after World War II because everybody else was bombed out. And then we lent money to Europe and countries to rebuild, and then they had to pay us back and owe us favors. This is why America's in the position that we're in, because of war and the spoils of war and what happens after war. We didn't, now, if we're being honest, the Republicans didn't want a conflict with the Russians, but I cannot wholeheartedly say America did not want a conflict, because Biden and the Democrats actually do want to go to World War III so they could profit even more. Zelensky has been in office over 10 years. So Zelensky is not actually insane to think he can wait another 3 years until Donald Trump is out of office and a Democrat comes in office, and then we go back into World War III and Zelensky can get another 10 to 20 years in power in the Ukraine. The Ukraine will be decimated at the end, but Zelensky's and Democrats of his ilk don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Zelensky doesn't give a fuck if there's no Ukraine left. Zelensky doesn't want to go back to being on TV. Zelensky doesn't want to go back to being a fucking comedian. So he is willing to destroy, just like a Democrat, his whole fucking country. That's a fact. That's a fact. Back to it.
Here are some of the examples. ExxonMobil right now is in secret discussions with Rosneft, that's Russia's largest state energy company, about a massive gas project in Russia's Far East, something that can only happen if the war is over and sanctions on the company are lifted. Rich Trump donors are right now trying to get in on the action as well. One donor just recently paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to a lobbyist that's really close to Trump's inner circle to try to buy the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. That's a Russian gas pipeline. Once again, something that is only possible for these investors to get rich on if the war is over.
Do you hear how the way keeps saying if the war is over? It's actually nihilistic. He keeps saying if the war is over. I have a problem with the Democrats. You don't want the war to end? I gave a story that 500 Ukrainians are dying every day. He doesn't want the war to end. How many times did he say it? If the war ends, if the war ends, we want the war to end. We want the death to stop. We want the business to start. Immediately after the war ends, there's going to be business. Someone's going to make money. We already know that. Why is he bitching and moaning about who makes money at the end of this war when we know someone has to rebuild their Ukraine? When we know that new deals have to be signed because everything is destroyed, right? It happens after every conflict. He's saying it like it's something new, right? Like Chevron didn't go to Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan after every motherfucking conflict. What are you talking about, bro? There is going to be business and commerce because the Ukraine has to be rebuilt. Gaza has to be rebuilt. Why isn't he talking about Gaza? Why isn't he talking about Gaza? I'm not going to go into it because you know why. I'm not allowed to say it. But why isn't he talking about the same money being made by the same motherfuckers in Gaza? That's okay, though. The same money is going to be made in Gaza, but that's okay. But it's not okay in the Ukraine. In the Ukraine, he keeps saying, if the war is over. It's almost like the Democrats don't want the war to end. What do you think in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you think he wants the war to end. Put a 2 in the chat if you think the Democrats want the war to continue.
And the U.S. lifts its sanctions. Another close Trump associate is in talks about acquiring a stake in a Russian Arctic gas project. So that's what Trump's billionaire friends get. But what does Ukraine get? Nothing. Nothing. This deal sells out Ukraine. In fact, this deal would require Ukraine to give to Russia territory that Russia doesn't even currently control. It provides amnesty for all of the war crimes that Putin has committed. It creates no real security guarantees for Ukraine moving forward. This peace deal is a disaster for Ukraine, but it frankly shows how savvy Vladimir.
Did you hear that? Did you hear how he snuck that in? This peace deal is a disaster for the Ukraine. Disaster for the Ukraine. What I would ask the Congress is it a disaster for American people, right? Who have donated $300 billion to the cause. It's a disaster for the Ukraine, but does it work for America, right? Does it work? It's better than World War III. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. It's better than World War III. And he keeps saying this is a horrible deal for the Ukraine, but does it save American lives? Does it save American taxpayer dollars? Does it save Ukrainian lives? Does it save Russian lives? I think the Democrats and their holier than thou fake outrage always want you to see things through racial color lenses and focus on the wrong thing, man. Focus on the wrong thing, man.
Ukraine moving forward. This peace deal is a disaster for Ukraine, but it frankly shows how savvy Vladimir Putin is. He knows the way to get to Donald Trump and Steve Witkoff. Pay them off, pay their friends off, do favors for their billionaire crowd. And if you do that, then they're prepared to sell out Ukrainian security, European security, and American national security.
How American security? How American security is impacted by anything that happens. See, that's why we voted for MAGA. This is why we don't want Democrats in office, because the Democrats want us to believe that there's such thing as a Cold War. There is no more Cold War. There is no more Cold War, Democrat. American national security is not impacted by this Ukraine conflict at all. It's been going on for years, and we're not affected at all. It doesn't affect American national security, but it does affect Europe. It does affect France, so let them fucking take care of it. But don't try to fucking lump in America into a Ukrainian-Russian fucking conflict. It doesn't affect our security. And we gave $300 billion. We gave lives. We trained fucking Nazis. We trained fucking Nazis to be part of the Ukrainian army. Who you think trained the Azov battalion? Fucking football hooligans. Fucking gangbangers. It made them fucking soldiers. American, fucking racist white boy Americans went over there and volunteered to train fucking Nazis and bring the Nazis back to fight against Russia, and they got fucking ass kicked. I just wanted to give you guys some of that good background. All right, Pam Bondi. Let's get on Pam Bondi ass, man. Let's get on Pam Bondi ass, man. Oh, Venezuela.
Unfriendly.
Venezuela. I can't forget. We're going to go, oh, man, I almost forgot Venezuela. Venezuela, Trinidad Agro cartel, drug boats being blown up. I almost forgot Venezuela. I'm trying so good to get the Pam Bondi no good ass, but I didn't forgot Venezuela.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it. Why would I talk to you, an extremely unfriendly publication, if you want to call it Politico, that got $8 million from Obama to keep it afloat? Why would I do that? Why would I talk about that to Politico? I mean, I'm doing this because you picked me as a man for Europe.
I'm asking for transparency for their American people, because a lot of folks are, people are wondering
I am the most transparent politician maybe in the world.
A lot of folks are wondering what our goals are in
Sure, but
Venezuela.
I don't want to talk to you about military strategy.
Well, may I ask then, can you rule out?
Best president ever. Best president ever. Best president ever. Best president ever. Let's run that back. I'm not going to talk to you about military strategy, little girl. Political or unfriendly publication. Obama gave you $8 million to stay in business. Why would I tell you my military strategy? Let's go, Donald. Let's go.
Can you rule out an American ground invasion?
I don't want to rule in or out. I don't talk about it. Why would I talk to you, an extremely unfriendly publication, if you want to call it Politico, that got $8 million from Obama to keep it afloat? Why would I do that? Why would I talk about that to Politico? I mean, I'm doing this because you picked me as a man for Europe,
I'm asking for transparency for their American people, because a lot of folks are, people are wondering
I am
what
the
is
most transparent politician maybe in the world.
A lot of folks are wondering what our goals are in
Sure, but
Venezuela.
I don't want to talk to you about military strategy.
Well, may I ask then, can you rule?
Somebody in the chat trying to get roasted. Somebody in the chat trying to get roasted. It ain't no fishing boats. It ain't no motherfucking fishing boats. We talking about drug boats. We talking about cartel. And just so you know, because I am the host and I've been doing my research, and you probably don't read, you just probably saw a clip on the news and some dummy talking about fishing boats, but I played the video here. I played a fast boat. I played it. Me and my audience watched the video. Did you see the video? It wasn't a fucking fishing boat, stupid motherfucker. It was not a fucking fishing boat. It was a fast boat with 13 motherfucking gang members and cocaine, and you can see it with your night vision and the dark of night. You trying to make Navy SEALs out to be a fucking idiot? Are you trying to say the Navy SEALs are as stupid as you? This is the worst part about this fucking story, is when you say it's a fucking fishing boat, then you call the Navy SEALs fucking idiots, and you say the Navy SEAL Team 6 could not disdain and distinguish between a fucking fishing boat and a fucking fast boat. Motherfucker, you are trying to fucking put the Navy SEALs on fucking blast and get them fucking arrested for fucking murder. They are the best of Americans. We are talking about SEAL Team 6. You think they didn't fucking know who the fuck they shot? Were they not fucking entry fucking men? They not fucking entry cavalry, you stupid fuckface? Everybody talking about this shit. You are insulting Navy SEAL Team 6, and I'm not gonna have it. I'm not going to have no insults to Navy SEAL Team 6 on my platform. Shut the fuck up with that stupid shit. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. Fishing boats can't reach the fucking... It was a fast boat moving at over 100 fucking knots, 2 or 3 o'clock in the fucking morning under the guise of night. Vroom, 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 not stopping, not identifying itself, entering into the Southcom region, where it is the Navy's fucking job. It is the Navy's fucking job to protect the motherfucking American waters and the American motherfucking coast. We don't ask. I never want the Navy SEALs to ask a motherfucker what the fuck they doing. Blow their ass up. Blow them the fuck up. Navy SEALs don't ask questions. Navy SEALs kill. Navy SEALs do not ask fucking questions. Fucking idiot. Navy SEALs don't ask questions. It wasn't no fucking fisherman It was 13 Venezuelan cartel members. And just for the record, we've blown up 21 boats. We've blown up 21 boats and 80 dead drug dealers. How many cocaine kilos have we recovered? Hundreds. We stopped cocaine. Now, as a Black American, you see this black skin, you know how excited I am for the first president to say, I want to stop drugs. And the way I want to stop drugs is not to arrest Americans. Every other politician, every other president, when he says clean up drugs, war on drugs, its manifestation is arresting American citizens, either for selling drugs or for using drugs. That's how your Democrat politician is tough on crime. They arrest American citizens and blame the American public for the drug problem. This is the first time that an American politician has said, I'm going to stop the cocaine at the source, and I'm not going to arrest American citizens who are having a hard fucking time and in using drugs to medicate. Let's go stop the fucking cartels. Let's go blow up the fucking coca plants. Let's help Americans by going to the source. War on drugs, my ass. You know what a war on drugs did? Put my uncle in prison. You know what a war on drugs did? Get my nephew murdered. What the fuck did the war on drugs do for you? I know what the war on drugs didn't do. It didn't stop any fucking drugs. I know what the war on drugs didn't do. It didn't stop gangs and it didn't stop drugs. How about we go to Venezuela? Because you done locked up every black young man in fucking America and it didn't work. So how about we try something new? How about we try something new? And how about you stop listening to Democrats tell you that they tough on crime and turn around and put American citizens in fucking prison? That's your definition of Trump tough on crime, is to put American citizens in prison? That ain't tough on crime. I think that's really pussy. That ain't tough on crime. All right, Pam Bondi. Trump supporters grow impatient with AG Pam Bondi after 10 months. Supporters recirculate Trump's message voicing frustration over lack of high-profile arrests against perceived adversaries, despite Bondi's DOJ securing wins like pipe bomb, suspect arrests, and Antifa probes. Critics tally 0 politician prosecutions since inauguration and demand her replacement, while others defend her pace amid 600 lawsuits and judicial dismissals of key cases. Let's read Trump's post from Truth Social, because I say this is about the last time Pam Bondi gonna get a warning. I'm gonna read to you what Trump said, and I agree so much with this. This is why I broke down Letitia James, SDNY, James Comey, loser Letitia, Shifty Shift. Let's read it. Trump, Truth Social. Pam, dear Pam, in the most respectful, disrespectful way, I have reviewed over 30 statements and posts saying that essentially same old story. Last time, all talk, no action, nothing is being done. What about Comey, Adam, Shifty Shift, loser Letitia? They're all guilty as hell, but nothing is going to be done. Then we almost put a Democrat-supported U.S. attorney in Virginia with the really bad Republican past, a woke rhino who was never going to do his job. That's why 2 of the worst Dem senators pushed him so hard, he even lied to the media and said he quit. And that we had no case. No, I fired him. Shout out to Donald Trump. He said he didn't quit. I fired him. How many people knew that? I thought that the guy quit. Every media outlet, I do a lot of research, they said that he quit. This is the first that I heard that Donald Trump fired him. And there is a great case, and many lawyers and legal pundits say so. Lindsey Halligan is a really good lawyer and likes you a lot. We can't delay any longer. It's killing our reputation and credibility. They impeached me twice, indicted me 5 times over nothing. Justice must be served now. President Donald J. Trump. What do y'all think is going to happen? He said they impeached me twice and 5 prosecutions. Latia James, SDNY, 36 felonies from a misdemeanor. Fannie Willis, who was fucking co-counsel, who was a married man, RICO charges in Fulton County. Donald Trump faced lawfare at every turn. Now come to find out that Jeffrey Epstein, when they were going up, listen to this. Donald Trump said, they impeached me twice, indicted me 5 times over nothing. One of those times, Jeffrey Epstein was on the phone with Stacey Plassey. In 2019, when they were prosecuting Michael Cohen, a lawyer for Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein was on the phone while she was actually on the committee and actually questioning, and she was asking Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted felony sex offender, what should I say now? Now, why was Jeffrey Epstein friends with Stacey Plassey? Stacey Plassey, like Jasmine Crockett, is the representative for the Virgin Islands. Why is this important? Jeffrey Epstein's island, Jeffrey Epstein's private freaky island is in Stacey Plassey's district. Now, they didn't close the island. Why wouldn't Democrats close down the island? Why would Democrats allow him to have access to that private island? Why in 2019 did he have access to a House Congresswoman and able to tell her what questions to use to go after his adversary, Donald Trump? He told her, push Stormy Daniels' payoff. That turned out to be successful for the Democrats. They successfully prosecuted Donald Trump on the Stormy Daniels payoff. That was led and orchestrated and designed by Jeffrey Epstein. Did you guys know that? Jeffrey Epstein is on the phone with Representative Stacey Plassey telling her, push the Stormy Daniels payoff. And when the prosecution was done, Epstein then called Stacey Plassey to tell her, good job. So when Trump is talking about lawfare, Trump is saying to Pam Bondi, this is not a request. They used Jeffrey Epstein on the phone while going after me. They used a convicted sex offender. In 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was 60 some odd years old with still access to the Democratic Party in 2019 after being convicted in 2008. It's almost unbelievable. This is why he's saying, Pam Bondi, you got some work to do. Pam Bondi, you got some work to do. Now, I'm going to say goodnight, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you, everybody, for double tapping, hitting the like buttons, and subscribing. My name is Perfect. This is the Perfect Timing Podcast, top of the mid-morning podcast from an OG perspective. I want to ask everybody right now watching to do me a huge favor. If you learned or enjoyed, just double tap your screen and hit the like button. I'm going to ask everybody watching right now to do me a huge favor. Go ahead and double tap, hit the like button, double tap your screen like this. Boop, 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 boop. If you're watching me on the laptop, hit the like button. I'm going to also ask anyone who's benefited from the program to subscribe to the channel. When you subscribe to the channel, you're going to get a plus sign. That plus sign will allow you to join the channel and become a member. Membership has its privileges. You will receive access to special emojis that I have custom created. Your name will be lit up in the chat that will point my attention to you so I can read your comment. There are so many privileges that comes with being a member of the fastest growing political channel on YouTube. You have reached I saw someone earlier, I'll be on my flow, and the comment read, I'm so glad I found this channel. Brother, I'm glad you found it too. Brothers and sisters, I want to say thank you for finding the channel. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. Let's give a thank you to God for protecting us, watching over us, and bringing us all together to have this constructive conversation. Again, I thank you too. I thank YouTube for bringing you here. I thank God for bringing you here to find my channel and this message. I know you knew real people like me existed, but sometimes it's hard, right? It gets hard. And then the bullshit on the TV, it gets you down and you don't believe that people actually have common sense. And then you finally find someone with common sense. I want to say thank God for bringing us both together, right? I want to say thank God for the greatest country, the greatest documents, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, our president. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. God bless him and his family. God bless everybody in the chat. I will see you tomorrow between 11 and 12. You know, I don't like to hold myself to a set time, but hit the notification bell when you subscribe. That way you know when I go live. But it's every day, Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time between 11 a.m. and 12. And we discuss political, geopolitical topics, right? And you can join the chat, join the debate. And if you want to interact with me, put it in the super chat, or you could become a member so I can read your conversation and we can interact. I know a lot of people in the chat want to have an interaction with me as the host. I can't interact with you because I'm actually doing the podcast. But one of the privileges of becoming a member or sending a super chat is you get that personal interaction with the host. I'll pause the whole show and take time out to interact with you personally, right? Based on your super chat or based on your membership. So thank you for everybody watching and have a great day. See you tomorrow.